Tonight, FloWrestling Night in America heads west to San Luis Obispo, California on the campus of Cal Poly, where tonight, inside the Mott Athletic Center, we bring you a college Division I doubleheader. We begin with Cal Poly and Cal Baptist, followed by Cal Poly and Northwestern. Hello and welcome once again to FloWrestling Night in America alongside former Cardi wrestler JD Rayner. I'm Shane Sparks. JD, tonight, the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the Pac-12.
Yeah, kind of a trail mix of wrestling conferences. Some opponents who maybe normally wouldn't see each other during the regular season and might not get to see each other before the postseason, so it's going to be a good, fun test for all three of these teams.
Cal Poly and Cal Baptist to start things off. We'll begin this dual meet at 125 pounds. In the first half for the Lancers, ranked 27th is Eli Griffin at 141 to see Legend Lamer, ranked top 10 in the nation at 157 for the Mustangs. And in the second half, if it comes down to heavyweights, 33rd ranked Trevor Tinker for the Mustangs. He'll square off against Tristan Kemp for the Cal Baptist Lancers. The Mustangs and the Lancers here in Cal Poly. Cal Poly comes in 0-2. They lost to Indiana and Stanford. And for the Lancers, off to a good start under head coach Derek Moore. 4-2 overall, already 2-0 in the Big 12. There you see Coda Holman, a redshirt sophomore for Cal Poly, wrestling Mitchell Niner, redshirt freshman for Cal Baptist. Holman from Clovis, California, graduated in 2022. State medalist in California, 7-5 record. And this is a redshirt sophomore season. Niner, redshirt freshman, 9-6, 2-4 in dual meets. Out of Port Orchard, Washington. South Kitsap High School won a state title. And JD, as always, you want to get momentum. And in a dual meet like this, you look at the record, 7-5 and 9-6. Toss-up match at 125 out of the gate.
Absolutely. You know, you want to win this match for yourself, but like you said, get your team on the board as well.
Coda Holman has Niner in that neutral danger criteria. And he's going to sit back. And he is going to score the takedown. 3 takedown for Coda Holman. The Mustang out in front. Niner quickly gets to his feet. Good escape on bottom.
Absolutely. It was a nice job holding on to that leg and continuing to move, stand up. You see a lot of times, guys, when they get taken down, they kind of submit the takedown. Put their head down, submit the position. Not Niner. Immediately continued to wrestle, earned his escape.
Coleman this season 1-1 in duels. He's off an 0-2 CKLV. Roadrunner open. Good performance there, and then Tiger Style invites. He was the runner-up to Matt Ramos. We saw Matt Ramos last night at Purdue with another tech fall to improve to 15-0. 3-1 score here, 90 seconds in. A couple of snaps by both guys. Holman scored quickly. Niner was third at the Roadrunner Open. First meeting between these two. Just over 1 minute left in this opening period. Shot there from Holman once again. Unable to snag a leg.
1 minute first period, 1 minute.
Coda with that wrist. Neither one of these guys, JD, really able to open things up to this point.
Yeah, you know, not since the takedown from Holman. The pace has slowed down just a little bit.
30 seconds per period, 30 seconds.
There's a nice shot there from Holman. He darts in, and that was slick. Was that fast?
Yeah, no kidding. Perfectly, the right hand right to the ankle, was just able to snag it and pull himself in. That was a really clean takedown.
And now inside of 15 seconds, Holman will look to finish this period on top. He's got that near ankle scooped up. Crossbody ride. Couple of takedowns for Coda Holman. And the Mustang will take a 6-1 lead to the second period. I loved, in short time, inside of 20 seconds, going out and getting one more takedown, JD. 6-1 score. That's a great first period.
Shane, I'm going to tee you up to say it. What do you got to do?
Finish periods on top.
That's right.
When it's 3-1, the mindset's got to be one more takedown. Can't compromise position, but keep the pressure, the pace, the physicality, keep that urgency, and as I like to say, JD, a little bit of paranoia. You're up 3-1, short time. It's a great time to go out with another attack, get on the board. And Holman here with the quick escape.
And why I liked that attack from Holman, too, is the way he shot that single leg there. He just went for it again. It's not very risky, right? You know, you shoot a high crotch, you're really putting yourself into the fire and underneath. But the way he shot and kind of swung around from so far out on that single leg, you're not exposing yourself to a counterattack as much like we just saw there. You know, he shot the single leg, didn't get it, but no harm, no foul.
Just a really quick finish. Man, is he crisp with his attacks. In once again on a single leg and a shelf it, hunts the head, slides in a half Nelson, no takedown yet. And Niner rolls out of bounds. And the officials will discuss. There you look at head coach John Cerritos in his 9th season. And the officials, at their discretion, can go to the video at any time, of course, in a dual meet. Each team with one challenge. If you are wrong with the challenge, you lose your brick for the remainder of the dual meet. If you are correct, you get it back. It looked like he scored a takedown there, JD.
Maybe. You know, they kind of fell into that crab position, but I think they might have actually fell into the crab position out of bounds. You saw Holman then throw his foot back in bounds, but they might have came out for a second. I would like to get another look at that before I say for sure if I give my opinion.
And keep in mind, you do not have to have a point touching inside the circle. It's an infinite cylinder. If you are above it, it counts as being in bounds. Of course, in college wrestling, if you have a pinky inside that cylinder and that's where control, it's a takedown.
That's where the high school and college rules are different, and it is going to be a takedown. High school updated the rules, so they're very out of bounds rules, so they're very similar to college now, but they still don't have the infinite circle out there that college does.
So it is a takedown awarded to Holman, his 3rd of the match. He wants to stay on his feet. He's up 10-1. What I like what he's doing here, JD, he's going to work on his feet. He's winning this match on his feet. And in getting these takedowns, accumulating the riding time. It's at 36 seconds. Hard snap from Holman. I've been really impressed with how quick he is. You talked about those shots before, JD. He's not getting into scrambles.
Yeah, and that's key in college wrestling, right? Every guy is so tough to take down. If you can finish quickly and avoid those scrambles, that's really going to give you an advantage.
Holman with an underhook right now, left side, taking territory, pushing forward as Niner has to be careful. An attack there by the Mustang right on the edge. Looking for that go behind. A couple attacks exchanged. Good counter there by Holman. Right into a cradle, and now he's looking to give the Mustang 6 here at 125.
He's going to have to settle his hips down. His hips are a little high right now, but if he can put that hip pressure down on the face of Niner, he's going to pick up the fall just like that.
Coda Holman with the fall here at 125 pounds. Puts the Mustangs out in front quickly, 6-0. Holman now improves to 8-5. And talking to Coach Cerritos, he said they're really excited about this guy, and I can see why. That was impressive.
Really like his offense, like you said, that single leg, he was just so quick to it. And then the transition immediately into the cradle, that was good stuff. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some of that action from this match here. Here's the fall, just jumping quick to that cradle. He jumped to that cradle on his last shot, and it almost cost him when he almost didn't get the takedown. This time, though, is with appropriate time to jump to that cradle, settles his hips in, picks up the fall.
Late in the second period, Coda Holman gets the fall. 6 on the scoreboard for Cal Poly. Coach John Cerritos, 2-time SoCon champion as an athlete, was an All-American at 165 for the Mocs. And what a job he has done. I mean, Cal Poly, they always got some hammers in their lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. They're really starting to build out a lineup from top to bottom with competitive guys and then a couple of handful really All-American level guys.
133 pounds, Caleb Park, a redshirt freshman for Cal Poly. And Damian Alvarez, a true freshman. It is his first duel of his career in that Cal Baptist singlets. Out of Selma, California is Alvarez. He was 4-1 at the Roadrunner Open. Good for a third-place finish. No Hunter League tonight for the Lancers. As you see Alvarez working at 2-on-1. And for Caleb Park, first dual meet of his career. So one of these guys tonight will get the first dual meet victory of their career.
Let's go.
Park 2-2 at the Roadrunner Open. He's out of San Diego, California, Poway High School. Park in with the leg attack. You see Alvarez there coming up through the crotch. You see Alvarez, JD, he's got some length.
Yeah, no kidding. He's a tall glass of water. Probably one of the tallest 33-pounders in the country, and that's really going to give him an advantage here in this crackdown position if he can keep scooting. But phenomenal job by Park to continue to wrestle through the position, has his leg up. He's got to keep it high, continue to wrestle in, just let go of the leg a little too soon. Good job fighting back in.
Now Alvarez in better position as he fought off that single leg attack from Park. Park makes an adjustment, switches off to a double leg. Again, he's underneath that length of Alvarez. Waterfall position. What's most critical, JD, in finishing right here?
Yeah, Park has to swing that right leg across his body. If you stay right here, you're going to fall to your side. Alvarez is going to get that body lock, and it's going to be really tough to finish. But if you can kind of swing that leg over to the side, get your opponent to fall off the side before you hit your side, then it's going to be easier to finish.
Inside of 1 minute, shelf single leg here for Park. Not a whole lot of room to work with. Now he's hunting down a cradle.
Man, it's going to be tough to finish here. I would roll through over his left side. I think it's going to be hard to sit Alvarez on that far right hip. But if you can roll underneath.
Here in this first period. The cradle is locked by Park. Alvarez doing a really good job not giving up that three-point takedown. Down to 20 seconds. Right now, Park, short time. Back trip, tries to get that far ankle. Good wrestling by both guys.
Yeah, you were talking about it in 125. The ability to finish cleanly, avoid those scrambles. That is the number one difference between high school wrestling and college wrestling. A lot of people say top and bottom. Sure, top and bottom gets a lot tougher. But really the biggest difference that I noticed when I wrestled in college was you have to fight for almost every takedown. It is extremely hard to get a takedown in college wrestling, especially now as defensive tactics have only gotten better and better. Guys are so good and will fight so hard not to give up a takedown.
Park is going to start this period on bottom. I would say this with Park. When he had that single leg, there was a lot of time in the period. I maybe would have brought him back center of the mat. A lot of guys right there, I don't want to use the word panic, but bring that guy back to the center of the mat. Give yourself some room to work with.
Absolutely. it is especially hard to finish with that elevated single leg on taller opponents, right? A shorter guy, when you kind of uppercut and trip, they're more likely to fall off of their feet. But a tall guy, he's going to be able to continue to remain balanced on there, right?
Alvarez using that length and leverage in the top position, able to ride Park for the first 30 seconds in this period. Just a lot of forward pressure. Park looking to build up a base. Alvarez will take riding time over a minute. Another nice dump from Alvarez. What are you seeing from Park on bottom, JD?
You know, heads down quite a bit. I'm just not seeing the hustle you really need to get out at the Division I level. He's occasionally coming up to this quad pod. Hit your knee slide. Come up to your stand-up. Everything just seems a little slow for him on bottom right now.
Coffee grinder position here for Alvarez. 20 seconds away from riding out Park this entire second period. Now going to bring that wrist to the back in a hammerlock position. Park is laying flat on his belly. You a little bit surprised he hasn't been hit with stalling yet?
You know, he's been coming up to a quad pod enough, a base enough. I wouldn't be mad at if a stall call had been thrown out, but I'm not surprised necessarily to not see one.
Great period there for Damian Alvarez, the true freshman. 2 minutes of riding time. Now he'll go on bottom. No Zeth Romney tonight for Cal Poly, the NCAA qualifier, the redshirt sophomore, 9-1, coming off his title at the CKLV. You were there. I mean, Zeth Romney ranked 5th in the country.
Yeah, he's the real deal. If you win CKLV, you are pretty darn good.
I don't think anybody would debate the toughest regular season tournaments in college wrestling. And now Park going to work on top, slides in a leg, crossbody ride, good breakdown there. He's got Alvarez flat. Interesting match. Has the wrists. You see Alvarez head on the mat, those elbows out. When your elbows are out, you give up the wrist. And now Park trying to crank in a half Nelson. Tightly contested match here at 133. Coda Holman a pin for the Mustangs. Cal Poly leading it 6-0. What's the most critical thing, JD, in defending a guy that rides legs?
Don't let them in. You know, it's like they say, the best defense is a good offense. It's kind of similar when it comes to leg riding, right? Obviously, that's easier said than done.
Oh, look at this. And Alvarez gets the reversal. And the Lancer takes the lead 2-0. It looked like Alvarez was in some trouble.
Yeah, he just used the momentum perfectly, sat through that elbow, and threw Park over top and picked up a reversal.
We saw Alvarez ride Park the entire second period. He's got that riding time back up over a minute. Near ankle scooped up. Has a thigh pry there on the right side. Goes back to that coffee grinder. A reversal in this third period. And over a minute and a half of riding time. It is a 3-0 decision. And Damian Alvarez, the freshman from Selma, California, picks up his first college win for Cal Baptist.
Maybe not your typical win, but hey, a win's a win.
And this is that reversal.
Yeah, like I said, just excellent feel from Alvarez, right? He felt the momentum, felt the pressure, threw that elbow, sat through, picked up the reversal, and that's what won him the match.
Your college sports have a home on Flow College. Watch more than 12,000 college sporting events from 100 schools, 12 different conferences, only on Flow College. Head to flowcollege.com today to see everything now. Another great addition, JD, at Flow Sports.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of our fans only know wrestling, but hey, if you have a Flow Wrestling subscription, you can watch just about every single sport there is to offer through all our other amazing verticals.
All right, here we are at 141 pounds. Elijah Griffin goes by Eli. Redshirt junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Up from 125 pounds. And Alec Van Beber, a true freshman for Cal Poly. Actually, that's Corbin Shepard, my mistake. He's a redshirt junior from Blue Springs, Missouri. Eli Griffin, a national qualifier last year for Cal Baptist. He was a 30 seed, went 2-2 in Kansas City. Led the team in wins with over 20 W's. And this season, he's 5-2 overall, 3 bonus point victories, 5-1 in dual meets. No score 60 seconds in.
Man, how did he ever make 125? Because he looks all of 141.
Up a couple of weight classes. 4-time Oklahoma State champion Eli Griffin was a Fargo Junior Greco National champion, an All-American in freestyle. And down at 125, when he was at that weight class, JD, he has beaten Jory Volk, he has beaten Nico Provo, he's beaten Steve O'Poulin, and he was huge in the win against West Virginia. He beat Jordan Titus 5-0. That garnered him Big 12 Wrestler of the Week honors. Had a win against Clarion and West Virginia. And Cal Baptist beating West Virginia 18-15, their second-ranked win in the Big 12 since 2022. And here is Griffin, single leg.
He's going to have
a minute to work with in his first period.
He's going to have to get that arm free.
Yeah, but you look at the right foot. Again, call up Matt Gilbert at Resolite. Get some extra Resolite on the edges. Give me some space. Yeah, Griffin, 8th at the Big 12s last March in Tulsa. But what a win over Jordan Titus. Single leg here for Shepard. His best opportunity up to this point in the match. And potentially dangerous whistle with the pressure on that right ankle. Shepard is 1-4 on the season. From Blue Springs, Missouri, 4-time finalist, 2-time state champion. The 2021 Missouri High School Wrestler of the Year. Began his career in Columbia. Nice crisp shot there from Griffin. Crackdown position. This is Big JD with 20 seconds. Can he find a way to score?
He's close, almost in a Peterson position. Now he's going to switch off to the double and pick up the takedown.
Inside of 20 seconds. Short time scoring here for Eli Griffin. And he is going to take a 3-0 lead to the second period. Shepard this season 1-2 at the Tiger Style Invites. Looking for his first dual meet victory of the year for the Mustangs. And Griffin will go on bottom. Griffin and Hunter Leak qualifying for the NCAAs last March in Kansas City for the Lancers. Griffin looking for a reversal. And he's got the reversal. He pads his lead now up 5-0. 30 seconds into this second period.
And I like what he's doing with the legs here, just holding this kind of figure 4. Now it's going to get called for potentially dangerous as that ankle came up around the waist. But I think too often you see guys who they fall into a Turk or into a Navy ride on a reversal or something like that. and a position I feel like you should at least try and take advantage of. And they just kind of let it go.
Yeah, pull the trigger, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you get to a place where you have an advantage, use it. One of those great lines from the dads in the stands at the 8-year-old tournaments when the dad is screaming, use it.
Use it. You know, another old cliche saying is the best time to score is right after you score.
A lot of truth to that.
Mm-hmm.
Transition wrestling. And that's what the great ones really do. I mean, they're always a step ahead.
Absolutely.
Over 40 seconds of riding time. Griffin doing a nice job on top. Here inside the Mott Athletic Center, it holds just over 3,000. I know you know this, JD, but so the people that don't know it, first game played here back on January 15th, 1960. Cal Poly fell to San Diego State on the hardwood.
Okay.
You knew that.
Yeah, you didn't have to tell me, but for all our viewers at home, good nugget.
See Griffin here trying to run the head to the knee. Has that right leg figure forward. Shepard flat on his belly. Griffin with a bar sunk in left side. Riding time now over 90 seconds, and as he did in the first period, Griffin will finish this second period, say it with me, JD, on top. 5-0 to the third.
Shepard going to go down. Kind of an interesting choice. I thought Griffin looked really tough on top.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, JD, that he went on bottom.
Mm-hmm. You know, he really, to be honest with you, wasn't even that close to an escape. This is maybe his best opportunity right now, but he can't just hold this. He's got to move, right? If you just stay here, yep, you're going to get put back
Exactly
down.
what happens. And you'll hear me say this all the time, but I'll say it again. Like right now, if you are Shepard on bottom, you got a couple of cautions. Now I'm curious to see, JD, how committed Griffin is in the top position because he's in bonus point territory.
Absolutely. Looks like he's pretty committed. Working for near fall here.
He was very committed in the top position. Now he's going to settle in. And Shepard fortunately able to get back to his belly, but some near fall points for Griffin. 4 near fall makes it 9-0.
Yeah.
The riding time is secured for Griffin as well.
Shepard was almost in a whole lot of trouble there when Griffin transitioned into the top and almost got his grapevines in. You know who was real good at that? Zane Rutherford. He would put a leg in, put a bar in, tilt a guy up, and then transition his hips on top like nobody I've ever seen.
You can't tell, JD, you talking about Zane Rutherford in the top position right here, right now is making giving me anxiety. I'm starting to sweat. Zane Rutherford, I've never seen somebody punish somebody in the top position like Zane Rutherford.
It was abuse what he
And the crazy thing with him was he's the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Every time I would talk to him, I'd be thinking to myself, you know, talking to him off the mat, like, how is this guy able to flip a switch and go to that kind of mentality in the top position on the res light? Because he was punishing that bow and arrow. My gosh. I bet guys, JD, that wrestled Zane Rutherford 5-6 years ago wake up 2-3 times a year, middle of the night, nightmare, just waking up, having a nightmare about Zane Rutherford.
For sure, top 10 guys you least want to wrestle.
He made it a miserable experience. Zane Rutherford, the former Penn State great. And Eli Griffin.
Counting the fingers.
Over 3.5 minutes of riding time. It is going to be a 10-0 major decision for the 27th ranked 141-pounder in the country. And with that, Cal Baptist goes out in front of Cal Poly 7-6. Jagger French and Paul Kelly, that's next at 149. It's FloWrestling Night in America. Shane Sparks alongside J.D. Rader from our Flow headquarters in Austin, Texas. FloWrestling Night in America doubleheader tonight. Cal Poly and Cal Baptist. Good start to this dual meet, 7-6. The Lancers leading the Mustangs after 3 matches. It'll be Cal Poly and Northwestern to follow. JD, I love a good dual meet, and we have one tonight, my friend.
Absolutely. And when you think about that turn Griffin got in the third period that allowed him to get the major instead of just a regular decision, could come back big for the team.
149 pounds. It is Jagger French for Cal Poly, Paul Kelly for Cal Baptist. French from Luvis, California. He was 5th at state as a senior. 4-time letter winner in football, 3 times on the gridiron. No score, 30 seconds in. French 4-2 at the Roadrunner Open, 2-2 in Vegas. And when you're 2-2 in Vegas, JD, that's saying something. It's hard to go 2-2 in Vegas.
It is. Like you said it earlier, it is without question the hardest regular season tournament in the country. Some people call it a little mini NCAAs.
Paul Kelly, a true freshman, off to a fabulous start for the Lancers. He's 11-3, 5-1 in duels. Out of Poway, California. He was born in Panama City, Panama. Multiple-time placer, a runner-up last season. Lost to Daniel Zepeda in that final in California. He was third at the...
He's pretty good. That's
very good. Kelly was 3rd at the Roadrunner Open. Lost to Jaden Abbas. He was leading Abbas. Ultimately fell 3-2 to Abbas, an All-American at Stanford. Paul Kelly, number 42 on Flow's 2024 big board. Here's a shot from French on a single leg. Quickly elevates. Well done.
Absolutely. I love the head position there from French. Too often when you see guys shoot that low single and their head falls through the legs, he put it right in the knee. But phenomenal fight here from Kelly, really making French earn this takedown if he can. It looks like we might get a stalemate.
Kelly trying to elevate. And now Kelly with the advantage, and he's going to score the takedown. Kelly scores off the shots of French. And the Lancer leads at 3-0. Stayed very patient, did not let the anxiety take over there. That was really well done by a true freshman.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like what I was talking about earlier. The difference between high school and college wrestling is finishing takedowns is so hard to do. For that reason, you can have a guy 99% of the way to a takedown. You don't have the takedown yet. Guys in college, they're going to find an ankle. They're going to roll underneath, and they're going to make you earn your takedown, or they're going to make you pay, and they're going to earn the takedown.
No chance Lamer tonight for Cal Poly. 2-time national qualifier Lamer off to a 5-0 start. Of course, Lamer spending a couple years at Michigan, now in his 2nd season at Cal Poly. So Jagger French. There's a caution. I am 100% okay with 2 cautions every time. Jagger French's father, Mike, was a Pac-10 champion at 190 in 1998 for Cal Poly. Nice return there from Kelly. And his mother, one of the all-time great pitchers at Cal Poly. She's in the Cal Poly Athletics Hall of Fame. Jagger French began wrestling at just 5 years old, but a good return once again from Paul Kelly. We've seen Cal Baptist, JD, really good on top tonight.
Absolutely. Kelly's a little bit high right now, but good adjustment there, and that's way to finish the period on top.
Absolutely. Riding time over 60 seconds. Gets that first takedown. Starting neutral here in this 2nd period. Underhook here for French. Guys wrestling ear to ear. Hard snap.
Good physicality from Kelly.
Kelly jacks up an underhook there on the right side.
He's got to try and shelf that foot on his far leg there. That's what he does. Now you're going to be able to finish.
Still got plenty of time. Wants to create some space. 40 seconds left. Kelly looking for a second takedown.
And that was interesting defense there from French, something you don't see too often. He was actually, because he's taller than Kelly, he was able to just smush his head down, which actually brought the action back down to the mat. Now I always say, when you get that foot up in the air, too often you see guys, they try one trip, they can't get it, and they come back down to the mat. Whether they reach for that far leg or they try and switch off to a double, I really don't like that. You're in a position of an advantage when you have the guy on one foot.
Yeah,
your takedown that
the tide definitely turns from a percentage standpoint in regards to finishing when it comes down to the mat.
Absolutely.
And we'll see how that plays out in this match. That was really good defense from Jagger French, as Kelly was in position to go up 6-0. 3-0 to the third. Choice goes to French. And we are going to go neutral. So both guys picking neutral. Oh, nice attack here from French. Defended by Kelly.
Back to that underhook. Can he finish this time? He's got the far boot in. This is going to be a good position to finish.
And they give him the takedown. So Kelly leading at 6-0.
Yeah, I think that was a good call. That was the takedown. Hips were secured. I know French was trapped or had that leg trapped, but in my opinion, control established. That was the takedown.
So Paul Kelly up 6-0 with over a minute of riding time. Again, we'll see how he plays this in the top position. Or does he want to work on his feet? Yes, he does. And you know, a situation right here, JD, and still plenty of time with that 3-point takedown and the 3-point near fall and 4-point near fall. But, I mean, right now, both these guys really fighting for their team.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you are French, find a way to score or don't get scored on. And Kelly looking for bonus points. Kelly 11-3, as I mentioned, 5-1 in duels. Now he's working a front headlock. 45 seconds to go in this third period. Oh, in on a single leg. Crunched underneath those hips of French. On the shoelaces, Kelly. We've seen Kelly and French as well, some pretty good scrambles in this match, but Kelly's gotten the better end of it.
Yeah, he really has, which, you know, that's impressive from a young guy. And he's won the scrambles offensively and defensively.
Down to 15 seconds. And Paul Kelly is going to get the 7-1 decision with the riding time points, as the Lancers have won 3 straight matches in this dual meet. Kelly, the true freshman, now 12-3 on the season for Cal Baptist. 3 more for the Lancers, who now lead Cal Poly 10-6.
Here's a look at some of those scrambles you were talking about, Shane. What we didn't see from this replay was how close Clay was actually to get it and taken down before he got into that position. And there he finishes his takedown just with that good pressure. Good hustle. All around good stuff from Kelly.
Upcoming events here on FloWrestling. Utah Valley and Oregon State. What a job Coach Hall has done in his first season at Utah Valley. Beast of the East Southern Scuffle, of course. Early 2025. Moved back a week this season. One of the great tournaments. The Southern Scuffle down at Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Good reason to get somebody a Flow subscription for Christmas.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. All the wrestling you can handle and then some. 157 pounds, legend Lamer for Cal Poly. Darren Green, 5th year for Cal Baptist. Lamer ranked 8th in the nation here at 157 in his 6th year. 3-time NCAA qualifier, 5-6 so far this season. Lamer looking for his first dual meet victory this season. He's 0-2. Began the season 5th at the Tiger Style Invite, was 2-2 in Vegas. Out of Corvallis, Oregon. Crescent Valley High School, 4-time champ in 5A. State team title in 2019. No score after 1 minute with Lamer and Green here at 157. Green in his 2nd season at Cal Baptist after 3 at Wyoming. And Lamer looking to spit around behind, now going to go to a single leg. And the Mustang with a good opportunity. Back trip. You talked about it, JD. These guys fight so hard. Green fought, but ultimately Lamer prevails and gets the 3.
Absolutely. He did a good job of hustling through that position, that arm drag, go behind position. It took him 3 efforts. He went kind of grabbed hamstring, Green circled away, ran hip, Green circled away, then dropped in on the single leg and got in. You know, at the high level, that's what it takes to a lot of times ultimately earn your takedowns is multiple efforts.
Green first dual meet of the season. He was 5-1 at the Roadrunner Open at 149. Good for a 6th place finish. He's in a tough spot right here on his belly as Lamer takes riding time over 40 seconds. Green from Broomfield, Colorado, 4-time placer, 2-time Colorado State champion. Final 25 seconds, first period, tight waist, a chop from Lamer.
He's continued to go back to that tight waist.
Crossface.
Chop.
Lamer, 4 appearances in the Pac-12 championships. Was a runner-up in both 21 and 22, was 3rd in 2023, and last March was 4th. Gets the period and finishes the period on top with almost 90 seconds of riding time. Lamer first 3 seasons at 149. Then he went to 165 in 2023, did not make the tournaments. And now the last 2 seasons at 157. He's on bottom here and quickly escapes. 8-second escape. Leading at 4-0. As his Mustangs trail at 10-6 after 4 weight classes. Nice shot right there from Darren Green. But better defense from Lamer as he defends, gets the go behind. 7-0, getting his 2nd takedown of the match, and now looking for a tilt.
Yeah, just really good roll through tilt. I think he got 2 swipes. Yes, he did. The referee's holding 2.
Quick escape, the takedown, and the turn as Lamer has opened things up in this 2nd period, leading at 9-0 as riding time approaches 2 minutes.
Yeah, and Green's going to be in a lot of trouble here. He wasn't able to escape in the first, and there's still a minute left in the second.
For you Oregon high school wrestling fans out there, I am wondering, I asked Kevin Roberts today, who is my go-to source in Oregon, if the Lamers have more state titles than anybody between Legend, Chance, Daschle, and Brawley. Got a brother, Justice, who runs track at Montana State. I'm not sure if he wrestled or not. But a lot of state titles in that household.
No kidding.
Looking to roll through once again. We saw him hit this before for 2. And it is going to be a tech fall. 15-0 Legend Lamer improves to 6-6 on the season. The 3-time NCAA qualifier from Corvallis, Oregon, pulls Cal Poly ahead of Cal Baptist, now 11-10.
Here's that second takedown. Nice work transitioning right into this turn. Hit this turn 3 times to ultimately get the tech fall. Just that claw, wrist roll. Good stuff.
Wrestling fans, this is for you. Access every match, rankings, and exclusive content with your FloWrestling annual subscription. Whether you're following high school, college, or international, FloWrestling has you covered with live events, interviews, and more. Don't miss a single moment of the action, only on FloWrestling. Right into 165 pounds, Cash Stewart, the redshirt sophomore for Cal Poly. Mason Espinoza, redshirt freshman out of Clovis, California, for Cal Baptist. Espinoza clinging to that right leg.
Good
He's
chest
gotta
wrap.
pop his hips, JD.
Yeah, good chest wrap defense there from Stewart. Immediately went to it, rolled through, brought his hips all the way out. Then after that was able to kick the leg back, break the lock, and come behind for his takedown.
No Luca Wick tonight for Cal Poly. Wick ranked 26th in the FloWrestling rankings. Stewart out of Arlington, Wisconsin, Poinet High School. 4-time medalist, won the state title as a sophomore, the first state champion at Poinet. And these two Mets at the Road Runner Open back on November 24th. It was a 13-6 decision for Cash Stewart. He's off to a good start in this first period tonight. Has that leg snaked in, and now Espinoza escapes. It's a 3-1 match. And Espinoza wasting no time with a leg attack in deep. His best opportunity right here. Takedown will put him out in front.
If I were him, I would transition that foot to your other armpit. It's generally a little bit easier to finish when you're outside the legs. You see how he's in between the legs here.
Stewart, good balance, defending as they work towards the edge.
There's that transition. Now you can look for your back trip. But man, phenomenal job fighting the wrists from Stewart. That ultimately, once he got the wrist control, that allowed him to stomp his foot back, and now we're going to go off the hardwood floor. But really impressive defense there from Stewart.
In matches, JD, there are typically 2 or 3 situations, right? It's a game of inches, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to capitalize when you get a chance like that.
Yeah, no kidding. And man, in a time, they spend so much time in that position too, and then to ultimately come away with no points, that can kind of be demoralizing mentally a little bit as well.
And I know it's not easy. I mean, these guys are all really, really good, but to win those tight matches.
Well, it's hard to get that far, right? So when you do get that far, you want to capitalize.
2-on-1 here from Espinoza. 35 seconds, first period. Stewart didn't compete last year due to injury. Wrestled one duel back in December of 2022. It was a win over Lindenwood.
Good ankle defense here from Espinoza. You see him holding on to that right ankle, and that's ultimately what kept Stewart at bay. If he doesn't grab that ankle, then maybe Stewart can start to knee slide, get his head up and across, and finish strong. But when you've got that ankle, life is difficult.
Stewart, the champion at the Roadrunner Open, beat Guillermo Escobedo of Cal State Bakersfield 6-1 to claim that title. Earlier in the season, 1-2 at the Tiger Style Invite. The first period is in the book. Stewart leading at 3-1. Choice goes to Espinoza. And the Mustang will go on bottom to begin this second period. Cash Stewart, JD, while in high school, also earned an associate degree in math, science, and technology at Madison College.
While he was in high school?
While he was in high school.
Wow. He sounds a bit smarter than me, which isn't saying much.
I'm with you. I was always happy with the 3.0 GP. These guys are just excellence on the wrestling mat, in the classroom. And Espinoza trying to put him right back in this match with his top game. Crossface. Scoops up that ankle, and now Stewart turns into him, looking to square up. But Espinoza remains in control.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job of hooking the ankle with his feet, not his hands technically, so not a drop down count. He's going to get a stalemate, not a stall there.
First dual meet of his career for Espinoza. He was 4-3 at the Roadrunner Open, 5th place. Espinoza didn't compete last season. Out of Clovis, California, Buchanan High School. Wrestled for Troy Tirapelli. Espinoza, 2-time CIF placer, 2 times master champion. Placed at the Doc B a couple of times. And there's an escape for Stewart. He's now back up by 3. Espinoza, though, right back in once again. We saw this before, JD.
He wasn't able to finish.
Towards the edge. He's got 30 seconds. But Stewart once again fighting the hands.
And again.
Once again, he's able to stave off the takedown. Great defense by Stewart on a couple occasions in this match.
No kidding, but hey, I'll give it to Espinoza. I feel like he has continued to fire off these shots, and he's come really close. Keep doing that,
Yeah,
right?
good
You're knocking on the door.
Yes.
Eventually, you're going to bust it open.
Goes back in once again, straight on double leg in the final seconds. And that will close the second period, but a stall call on Stewart. Espinoza with the choice. They'll go on bottom. Again, these guys met less than a month ago. 13-6, Stewart. Coach Cerritos in his 9th season there at Cal Poly. Quickly sliding a right leg in. Stewart crossbody. Had his hands locked there for a second.
Man, so often, guys, and it's because it's almost a natural reaction to just want to hold base when guys throw a leg in, right? But you got to sit that position, right? If you just hold base, you're never going to improve your position until the top guy takes some risk and makes an error, right? That's when you can improve. There, see?
Rating some action right now, and he gets the reversal. It's a 1-point match with 60 seconds left in this third period.
Don't forget stall call.
Be careful,
too.
Exactly right there. You got to protect your ankles. Stewart dives back in. Here's a front headlock for Espinoza. He has never led. And now, looking to drive through and finish. He's got his first lead. That takedown makes it 6-4.
Did they ever give an escape? I think they might have said control the entire time. Because Stewart turned in right away. Does Espinoza know?
Exactly. Yeah, he's riding 4-3.
He's riding like
some
he's winning.
Confusion here, JD.
Okay, now the scoreboard does
okay.
update. That makes sense.
Exactly. You said it, JD. The key was Espinoza just kept that attack rate. He just stayed with it like a dog on the bone. That's a big win. That is a big win for Mason Espinoza. First dual meet win of his career, a memorable one as he comes from behind with a late takedown, and he wins at 6-5. And Cal Baptist goes back out in front, 13-11. 4 matches to go, a tight one here in San Luis Obispo. With the Mustangs and the Lancers, it's FloWrestling Night in America. Mason Espinoza with a late takedown to win it at 165 for Cal Baptist. The Lancers lead it 13-11. 4 matches to go. Next chapter will come at 174 pounds with Carter Schmitz, 6th year out of Norwalk, Iowa. 2-time medalist, then spent 5 seasons in Ames at Iowa State. Few dual meets, but primarily open tournaments in his career. You know where Norwalk, Iowa is, JD?
Just south of me, my hometown of
Really?
Jewel. It's kind of the Des Moines area, central Iowa.
Couple of veterans here with Kendall LaRosa, 5th year, California native, wrestled at Pittman High School. Was a 3-time qualifier. He is down from 184, where he placed 5th at the Pac-12's last March. 0-2 this season, both matches at the Tiger-style invites. So his first duel of the season was 4-6 in duels last season. No score 30 seconds in. Kendall LaRosa, named after 1996 Olympic champion Kendall Cross.
Wow, okay.
Schmitz got the 2-on-1. Taking territory, moving LaRosa around the Resolites. It's a cool venue.
I have never been, but if I ever get the opportunity, I will absolutely go to the Cal Poly campus because it looks beautiful.
I like the mat. Going back to that 2-on-1, trying for it anyways, was LaRosa. And now Schmidt with the advantage, working a front headlock. Both guys heavy hands, heavy on the head. Looks almost like a Greco match.
A little bit, you know, with how much Schmidt's working for that 2-on-1 and the front headlock. Neither wrestler really fired off a committed leg attack yet to this point.
Cal Poly without Adam Kemp tonight. Kemp, two-time NCAA qualifier, ranked 24th in the FloWrestling rankings. Scoreless after 2.5 minutes here with Schmidt and LaRosa. And there is a stall call on LaRosa.
I think that's probably a good stall call. You know, Schmidt hasn't fired off any shots yet, but he's been the one attacking the ties, taking the ground, but now we see a good single leg.
Sweep single here from LaRosa in the final 15 seconds. This would be a huge takedown.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here now that Schmidt has his hips backed up on top.
Solid attack there from LaRosa, but Schmidt defends, and it's 0-0 after 3 minutes. LaRosa with the choice. He'll go on bottom. LaRosa, first 2 years at 165, then to 174. He was 184 last season, and now back to 174 this season. 13-11. Cal Baptist leading Cal Poly. As we wrestle here in the upper weights. Scoreless here at 174. And LaRosa strikes first, put a tally on the board for the Mustang with the escape. Saw a lot of this in the first period. Just that late attack from LaRosa in the final 15 seconds of the first period. Schmidt goes out and snags that left wrist, posting on the left side. Again, guys go back. It's a heavy hands on the head. Midway through this second period. Schmidt during his career has been at 157, 165, now 174. He's 8-5 on the season. He has wrestled in all 6 duels for Cal Baptist, 3-3. Was 4-0 at the Journeyman Classic and 1-2 in Vegas. Half a minute left. Schmidt likes that 2-on-1.
30 seconds in the period, 30 seconds.
Schmidt will have the choice in the third. Both these guys, JD, they are going to feel it tomorrow morning in the neck.
Yeah, a lot of collar ties, head pulling. You know, at some point, though, you're going to have to do something different than just thumb block.
Got to take a risk.
Dig into your collar tie. Yeah, you know, either post on the elbow to get rid of that collar tie, pass it, shuck it, something like that. Use it to get to your attack. Right now, they're just trading collar ties pretty much for the most part.
Schmidt, no surprise, will go on bottom. LaRosa slides in a hook as Schmidt quad pods to his feet. And here we go, neutral 1-1. See who's going to take some risks in this third period. Keep in mind, JD, it was LaRosa called for stalling earlier.
And I'm surprised we didn't see him take a shot in that second period. You know, the one shot he took,
Really good
he
shot.
got in deep.
Yes.
It looked good.
A whole lot of hand fighting, head fighting.
If you're waiting for the perfect time to shoot in college wrestling. You're almost never going to shoot. Right? Eventually, you got to make something happen.
There's
and just
never
go
a
for
great time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's always a great time, perhaps.
Yeah.
Never ideal circumstances. Maybe that's the better way to say it. 40 seconds left in a 1-1 match.
And if you're Schmidt, start pushing the pace. You have that stall call, right? That's how you can win the match. Get to your 2-on-1. Start pushing LaRosa around the mat. Get him to go out of bounds and get a stall point if you're not going to take a shot.
There's a shot here from LaRosa. Single leg driving through. Schmidt trying to crunch him up underneath. We're down to 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure LaRosa's going to be able to finish.
Don't believe so. We are going to go to sudden victory. Although as I say that, he's got it locked up, but he
got it.
Gets the takedown. I spoke too soon.
Oh, wow.
Second left. Carter Schmitz gets the takedown and the 4-1 win.
Looks like, I'm guessing, a challenge came from the Cal Poly corner. Or at least the officials want to review it themselves. And I think we're going to get to be able to take a look at this. What we need to see is clock. It looked like takedown criteria was met when Schmidt had the cradle and put LaRosa on his hip, but did he get it in time is the question.
So the officials are reviewing, and we'll see. A little bit confused, JD. The score reads 1-1. The official awarded the 3.
We saw his hand
Correct.
go up.
Yes.
So I would assume, obviously we are not in arena, so we can't know for sure, but I would assume that is the call on the mat, which means it has to be enough evidence to overturn.
Man, would this be a huge win for Schmidt and Cal Baptist. As the officials review, as you said it, JD, I think it's just a matter of did it happen before the buzzer sounded, because I agree with you, criteria was met. I thought it was sudden victory all the way, and then bam, Schmidt, that final explosive move, and he gets the 3. Carter Schmitz, 4-1 over Kendall LaRosa. Big time win for Carter Schmidt, now 4-3 in dual meets. He improves to 9-5 on the season. It's 16-11 Cal Baptist. Wow.
You love to say it, you got to wrestle for 6 minutes. I really think LaRosa might have, he might have hurt you, and he might have thought, okay, he settled in a little bit, relaxed, okay, we're going to overtime. Phenomenal job by Schmidt, pushing the pace, pushing the effort.
Had that cradle locked up and gets the 3 for the win, 16-11. As we head to 184 pounds, we saw Legend Lamer get the 15-0 tech fall at 157. Here's his brother, one of his brothers, Dashiell Lamer, redshirt freshman. And it's Nathan Haas for Cal Baptist. Lamer 7-6 on the season, 0-2 in duels. He was 5th at the Tiger Style Invites. Won the Roadrunner Open for the 2nd time in his career. He was 2-2 in Vegas. A 4-time state champion at Crescent Valley High School in Oregon, part of 3 team championships. And here's Lamer with the first attack. Switches off to a double, but you see Haas able to square up.
Yeah, attacked that chest wrap immediately. That kept Lamer at bay for a second. Then he was able to get those legs back.
It's a big match. Haas 7-5, 5-1 in dual meets. Haas was 1-2 at both the Journeyman Classic and in Vegas, coming off a 17-11 season. 150 remaining. Shot there from Haas, quickly backed out. They go back to collar ties. Haas from California was a two-time state champion at St. John Bosco. Then he went to Lincoln. Wrestled at Nebraska for 3 seasons. Second-year starter at Cal Baptist. Cal Baptist in Riverside, California, east of Los Angeles. And using that underhook, he whips him by. And here's Haas looking to score, and he's on the board, 3-0 with a takedown.
Yeah, I normally say, you know, run butt or hamstring when you're coming behind like that. Haas ran waist. Normally I say that's a no-no, but he actually used it effectively as he used that seatbelt to pull Lamer back down to the mat.
3-1 inside of 60 seconds in this opening period. Lamer's dad, Chad, was a 3-time national champion at South Dakota State University. Mother, Ann, 10,000-meter national champion, a 6-time All-American. Wow. Genetics, JD, they matter.
Pretty good.
30 seconds showing in this first period. Daschle wants to be a chiropractor like his dad, Chad. Perhaps take over the family business. Love a good chiropractor. Shout out to Steve Yeomans in Ripon, Wisconsin. One of the most important people I've ever met in my life. True story. My chiropractor, no doubt. Late shot there from Haas. They scramble in the final seconds. It stays 3-1.
I like that idea from Haas, though, sneaking one in late.
Absolutely. Final 10, 15 seconds. Go get it. Lamer goes on bottom. Three-two match. Was looking for some information, JD, on Nathan Haas. So I went to his old Nebraska bio, front headlock here for Lamer. And in the bio it said that he won his first college match against Michael Blockus of Minnesota.
That's a good win.
Well, I remember calling that match, Nebraska versus Minnesota, and it was not Michael Blockus. He beat Owen Webster.
Okay.
That was back on January 8th of 2021. But I would say this, hey, if you are Nathan Haas, you'll take a win over Michael Blockus, even though he might have been, 3-4 weight classes below you. Blockus might have been 141 at that time, but he's off to a really good start in his MMA career.
Yes, he is.
So, hey, if it's on the internet, it's true.
That's right.
60-second second period. Haas with a takedown, Lamer with a pair of escapes. 16-11. The Mustangs need this one at 184. One more ranked wrestler, a probable this evening. That is at heavyweights. Trevor Tinker, ranked 33rd for the Mustangs.
35. Yeah, feel that wrist. Nice.
30 seconds. Now let's see if Haas tries to sneak in another late takedown here like he did at the end of the first.
Takes a quick glance at the clock. Couple of fakes. Busy with his hands. Grabs that left wrist, collar tie on the left side. Both guys, forehead to forehead. Half shot from Haas. And we are 3-2 to the third. Derek Moore, head coach there at Cal Baptist. Joined the staff in May of 2017. He's in his third year as head coach. And what a career he had. Two-time Pac-10 champion at UC Davis. You and I were talking before the broadcast, that match in 2007. 141-pound national final. He beat Ryan Lang 17-2. I believe he might have given up the first takedown in that match, if I remember right.
How many tech falls in the Division I national finals have there ever been?
There aren't many. Mitch Clark comes to mind. Here is Lamer, single leg. Double leg, now going to switch off to a single. Makes the turn, and going to switch off to a double leg. He hunts it down. Haas continues to wrestle. No takedown awarded yet. And there's 3 takedown, 5-4. Good match right here with Haas and Lamer. Lamer rocks him back. I believe he might have got 1 swipe.
He got 1 and about a quarter of another. The official almost went for 2, so we're going to see that brick from Cal Poly coming out.
And now Haas in position for a possible reversal. Looking to get around behind, beating that left shoulder. If you are Haas here, you got to get 1, JD.
Yeah,
you got to get 1.
Have to. At this point, keep coming, or just push away.
So the 1 point escape is awarded, and the scoreboard reads 5-5. Challenge brick comes in from the Cal Poly corner.
Yeah, they're going to want
maybe
2.
the near fall, maybe?
They want 2 on that near fall.
Okay.
On the where Lamer just got the 1 count. It was definitely close to 2. Like I said, the official, he started to give the second swipe. You saw the hand kind of swipe or come back.
John Cerritos also on his staff. Chris Chianuma, who was a Big 12 champion and an NCAA qualifier at Oklahoma State. You see him there on your left. Ethan Rotundo and Evan Wick on the staff as well at Cal Poly. Mustangs are 0-2. They fell to Indiana and Stanford. Here's another look at that potential near fall.
I don't think that's 2. It would be a quick 2.
Both these guys with a takedown.
So I believe the score will remain 5-5.
So 5-5. So with that, JD, Cal Poly out of challenges for the remainder of the duel. So 5-5. As I said, each guy with a takedown. Here we go. Another tight one. This one at 184. And Haas in good position right here, and he gets the 3 takedown to take the 8-5 lead.
Wow, man, neither one of those guys wanted to go into overtime. They were working for that takedown there, both of them. And, you know, it was just Haas that eventually found his way to the leg on the re-attack and continued to wrestle and got the takedown.
2 takedowns in the match, 8-5 the final for Nathan Haas. Improves to 6-1 in dual meets, 8-5 on the season. And the Lancers find a way to win another close one, JD.
That was a gritty win from Haas. You know, Lamer gets that takedown late, and it kind of looks like he was in trouble. He continued to wrestle, right? He didn't stop once he got takedown. Immediately rolled, almost gave up the near fall, then almost got the reversal, ultimately got the escape, and finished it off with the takedown late to win.
Cal Baptist has won 6 of the 8 matches in this dual meets. Dakota Holman at 125, a pin for the Mustangs, and a tech fall from Legend Lamer at 157. But Cal Baptist, they have hustled tonight, JD, finding a way to make things go their way.
Yes, they have.
197 pounds at Jared Priest for Cal Poly. Eli Sheeran for Cal Baptist. Priest out of Bakersfield, California, state placer. 4-7 this season, 3rd-year starter. Priest, Roadrunner Open champion. He was 0-2 at the CKLV. Looking for his first dual meet win of the season. Couple underhooks here for Sheeran, the redshirt junior. And even 7-7 on the season, 2-4 in dual meets. stall call?
Yep, backing out of bounds. You got to make an attempt to circle back in. Priest didn't do that. That's going to be a stall, I'll say 9 times out of 10. Sometimes, you know, the out of bounds stall calls are still not called with the most consistency, but if you go from basically, you know, kind of like that inner circle of the mat, guy gets double underhooks, you back out of bounds without attempting to circle in, you're going to get called for stalling.
Sheeran was a 2-time state champion at Klein High School in Texas. Went to Buffalo for 2 seasons, now in his 2nd season at Cal Baptist. In 2023, JD, he wrestled heavyweight for Buffalo at the MAC Championships.
You don't see too many guys coming down from heavyweight. You see the bump up a decent amount from 197 to 285. You don't often see the descent.
Stalemate whistled, 103 showing in the first period. Sheeran 2-1 at the Journeyman Classic, 4th at the Road Runner Open. 0-0 here at 197. Oh, nice work, but skipping away was Sheeran. And now Sheeran, double overs, I believe. Intensity's picked up.
Yes, it has. That was good hustle from both guys, each one looking for the re-attack. I also want to point out it was a good job there by Priest on the corner, circling back in. Now that he has the 1 stall call, every time they're near the out-of-bounds boundary, his alert antenna has to be going up.
Mentioned Derek Moore, JD, 2007 NCAA OW in Auburn Hills with that 17-2 tech fall. How about this staff? Eric Morrill, 3-time NCAA qualifier at Edinburgh and EWL champion. Nathan Tomasello, 4-time Big Ten champion. He's a national champion 2015. And Mark Munoz won a national championship at Oklahoma State. 3 national champions on the staff at Cal Baptist.
Hey, it's a good time to be a wrestling fan in the entire state of California. Hey, I'll say the West Coast and the western part of the United States as well. You think about what's going on at Oregon State and now Utah Valley as well. It's good to see.
First year.
Yep, it's good to see good wrestling headed out west.
Chris Pendleton up in Corvallis, as you mentioned. Did a really good job in Corvallis when Iowa came to town. Made it an event, made it fun.
Yes. I was on the call for that.
That's
one.
right.
It was.
You were on the call. I listened to that. It was a Saturday night.
Yes. Corvallis it's a cool place.
Tight waist, good breakdown. Here from Sheeran. Armbar. Priest works up.
It's going to be hard to get a turn here with that left arm still kind of in the position it currently is. He's going to have to bring it back with that bar like you see him trying to do now.
Riding time at 50 seconds. Looking to get underneath that shin, turn the hips. Riding time now over a minute. Sheeran with Priest flat in this second period. Now Priest works up, builds a base.
30 seconds, second period, 30 seconds.
This is a tough place to be for Jared Priest of Cal Poly.
I said it earlier in the duel. When guy throws that boot in, you can't just stay there on your base and kind of take the abuse. Now it's a lot tougher because he's giving up his left arm, right? That makes things really tricky because you're giving up a limb on both sides, right? You're giving up the right leg and the left arm. When you only give up the right leg, you can sit to that position and work from there, start to scoot and get free. But when you're giving up 2, it's tough.
Sheeran rides Priest the entire 2 minutes of the second period. And now the Lancer will go on bottom. These two, JD, met at the Roadrunner Open back on November 24th. Less than a month ago, it was a 4-1 win for Priest in sudden victory. Sheeran, 1-0 lead, the quick escape, early third period. Sheeran, nice job right there to stay square. Sheeran moving forward. And they hit him again, second time. That's a good call.
That was a good call.
Point for Sheeran.
Got to circle in.
Got to keep territory. Got to take territory, as you mentioned, circle in. And you just got to be aware of the situation.
Now, where it really could come into play now is if you get your takedown, but then Sheeran escapes, and it's a tie ball game, right?
Riding time is now locked up.
Good call, yes.
So right now, Priest needs a takedown and a ride-out to force sudden victory. Essentially down by 3. Sheeran double unders. It always feels good, JD, when you come back and you beat a guy that beat you early on in the season. You feel the progress. And a win here by Eli Sheeran would lock up the dual meet for Cal Baptist. And avenging that loss from a month ago, Eli Sheeran. Late attack, but too late. And with the riding time points, 3-0 for Eli Sheeran. Another decision for the Lancers as they now lead at 22-11. And with that win by Eli Sheeran, it is a dual meet victory for Cal Baptist. We'll go to heavyweights. One more match in this dual meet. It's Tinker and Kemp up next here on FloWrestling Night in America. 22-11, Cal Baptist leading Cal Poly. Doubleheader tonight, stick around. We'll have Cal Poly and Northwestern approximately 15 minutes after the conclusion of this duel. And JD, when you look at Cal Baptist tonight, to me it's one word, it's hustle.
Absolutely. We've seen them win a couple matches late at the buzzer. We've seen them win a couple tight, gritty matches as well. And I think hustle, really encompasses what they've done here tonight.
Sounds good. Trevor Tinker ranked 33rd in the country for Cal Poly, and he puts Tristan Kemp in trouble. Going to be 3 takedown and some near fall as well. Crooked 5 spot up on the board early, 25 seconds in for Trevor Tinker. Tinker 6'7", 285 in his 5th year. 2-time NCAA qualifier, was a 28th seed in Kansas City last March. Was 0-2. Solid start to this season, 10-5, 1-1 in duels. And for Tristan Kemp, 7-8, 2-4 in duels. Its first season at Cal Baptist after 3 years at West Virginia.
Really liked that attack from Tinker. The slide by to the shot. You know, if you're a kid watching at home, watch that and realize, hey, sometimes an attack can not just be an attack, but can set up another attack.
Crossface. Kemp flat, trying to work up. Riding time now over a minute. With this win, the Lancers improved to 5-2. They lost to Indiana. They beat Buffalo. They fell to Campbell. And now 4 straight with wins over Air Force, Clarion, West Virginia. A huge win last Sunday. Won 18-15 over the Mountaineers. And now tonight they come to Cal Poly and will get a W. Our friend Kyle Bradke cannot be overly thrilled with that 18-15 loss on Sunday.
Oh, I'm sure not.
But the Packers have been okay for him.
And you know, I don't think I wouldn't put too much stock in that if you're a West Virginia fan. Tim Flynn, he's doing good things.
Phenomenal coach
at that program.
So great at Edinburgh. Won a national title at Penn State as an athlete. Armbar sunk in here for Tinker with just over a half a minute remaining in this first period. Tinker looking to join teammates Coda Holman, who got a pin at 125, and Legend Lamer, who got a tech fall at 157. But on this night, it has been Cal Baptist and the Lancers. I believe this is year 3 for Cal Baptist in Division I. Came from Division II, but Derek Moore doing a great job as head coach. Nothing first period, 2:46 of riding time for Tinker.
Woof.
Tinker this season, Tiger style invite, he was 3rd. Fell to Seth Nevels in that tournament. Nevels from Maryland ultimately claiming the title. Fell to Jake Andrews in the final of the Roadrunner Open. Andrews from Cal State Bakersfield. And Tinker coming off a 3-2 mark in Vegas. And Tinker skips away, adds to his lead with the escape at 6-0. Right back in on the legs, quick finish. 9-0 for Tinker. And when you're on bottom of him, as I mentioned, 6'7", 285, it's kind of like when you watch the gas gauge, one of those big souped-up pickup trucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just watch that gas tank go down.
Yeah, no kidding.
Kind of what the energy tank has got to be like for Tristan Kemp on bottom. He'll get a little bit of a breather here as he's got some blood.
And really, the only turn Tinker's been able to get, though, was right after his initial takedown. I'll be interested to see if he continues to just ride or if he'll want to work from his feet, get takedowns, and look for a tech fall.
Tinker, 2023 Pac-12 runner-up, fell to Colton Schultz. He was 4th in 2021 and 4th this past March at the Pac-12s. You redshirted in 2022. So 4th as a true freshman in 2021 at the Pac-12 tournaments. He's up 9-0 here with a mountain of riding time. Try to slide by right into a double. Pretty impressive there for the big guy, JD.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did in the first, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to cut and do it again. Looks like he's going to work for a turn at least for a little bit.
You talked about it before, JD. Not getting caught underneath, not being involved in extended scrambles. That's what's great about a slide by, too.
Mm-hmm.
Get behind a guy. Great technique.
Well, it's a phenomenal way to, you hear get to an angle. It's a phenomenal way to get to an angle.
Riding time over 3.5 minutes. Riding time 4 minutes for Trevor Tinker. Crossface.
I'm surprised we haven't seen some stalls against Kemp, as he is spending a lot of time on that stomach.
Tinker in command to the third, and he wants to stay on his feet. A takedown away from a tech fall. Good hard snap there from Tinker. Single leg, and he's got the tech fall. 16-1 tech fall for the 33rd ranked heavyweight in the country, according to the FloWrestling rankings. Trevor Tinker, now 11-5. And with that tech fall, it gives us a final team score of 22-16. JD, Cal Baptist, impressive, improving to 5-2 on the season.
I want to reiterate what you said earlier, hustle. I thought they hustled really well. They fought hard. We saw them win some matches late, kind of at the buzzer, and I think they really came to San Luis Obispo to scrap hard.
And the Mustangs fall to 0-3. Final score, 22-16, Cal Baptist over Cal Poly. We'll reset back in about 15 minutes for Cal Poly and Northwestern. But first, we'll take a closer look at the Chance Marsteller story, only on FloWrestling.
You ready?
Wrestling's an extreme sport. I'm an extreme person.
I remember hearing about Chance when he was in middle school because he was entering college opens and winning matches.
He was like an urban legend.
And he became mythological at that point.
Then he hits the high school scene and just runs through everybody.
He was a phenom from the time that he first stepped on the mat.
He almost has it down to a science, almost.
But it definitely came at a price.
I was an opioid addict. I was addicted to fentanyl.
How difficult?
I don't want to go back.
If this kid's a hammer on the mat, he's probably crazy off as well.
Why is somebody from jail calling me?
There was rumors about Chance.
7 years probation?
But I don't think anyone thought it was going to be as bad as it was.
He can fucking tape you as soon as he wants. Stand down and shut up.
As far as Chance hiding things, I'll be honest with you, he was great at it.
I didn't know probation lasted that long. Like, if you're that bad as shit, I thought you got thrown in jail.
This isn't the guy that I thought Chance Marsteller was.
He showed up with a backpack and just looked like a shell of himself.
This is where the story of me fighting 6 police officers comes about.
He gets arrested. It's very, very bad.
Most people have given up on me at this point.
He hit rock bottom at that point.
Yeah, I don't think it's a stretch to say that Chance Marsteller is the greatest example of human triumph in the history of our sport.
The rise and then the fall and then the come up, that's a great story. And people need to hear that.
I was starting to see Chance again.
This dude's in my way of winning a world title, and that was the goal that I wrote down when I was a little kid, was win a world title.
Olympic gold medal.
Some banks in the movie. His wrestling IQ is off the charts. I appreciated that.
The little kid Chance is back.
You thought you won, and now you're in a huge hole against the greatest American wrestler of all time.
I took that personally.
That was my advice to him, was give yourself a chance.
Chance was becoming this hero. It was almost like Rocky.
Don't fool yourself, kid. You're gonna come back in here just like everybody else.
You prepared for this. You chose this. You meticulously prepped and arrived at this moment.
training for the opportunity to beat Jordan Burroughs to represent the United States. It was ingrained in his mind.
I'm going to keep tracking you down until I get you.
Surprises at every turn of this final X.
Can you make it back? I don't know. No one's ever told me they did.
based in San Luis Obispo, California, on the campus of Cal Poly, where tonight, inside the Mott Athletic Center, our doubleheader rolls on with Cal Poly and Northwestern. It's the Big Ten and the Pac-12 here on FloWrestling Night in America. Hello and welcome. Our doubleheader rolls on, as I mentioned, alongside former Nebraska Kearney wrestler J.D. Rader. I'm Shane Sparks. J.D. for Cal Poly lost a tough one to Cal Baptist. The Mustangs, they better pick things up against Northwestern.
Absolutely. You have to bounce back. I thought the lighter weights wrestled really hard. They faltered a little bit in the upper weights, but I guess Tinker did close things out with an exclamation point in that first match.
With that loss to Cal Baptist, the Mustangs fell to 0-3. The Wildcats of Northwestern come in with a record of 1-1. Looking at that first slate of matches, Diedrich Navarro ranked 32nd for Northwestern. Cartella ranked 29th. We saw Legend Lamer with a tech fall. He's ranked 8th at 157. Lamer and Green in that matchup. Second half for Northwestern, Evan Bates, a finalist in Vegas at the CKLV. He comes in with a 19th ranking next to his name. And Trevor Tinker, he was dominant with a tech fall, 16-1 in that match against Cal Baptist. Tinker ranked 33rd, the heavyweights for the Mustangs. Northwestern and Cal Poly set to square off here inside Mott Athletic Center. Mentioned the Mustangs 0-3. They fell to Indiana and Stanford. And they just got done falling to Cal Baptist 22-16 for Matt Storniolo in his 10th season as head coach at Northwestern. The Wildcats 1-1. They beat Northern Illinois 29-8 and fell to Arkansas Little Rock 29-10. Coda Holman for Cal Poly getting a pin against Cal Baptist. So he is 8-5 on the season. The redshirt sophomore from Clovis, California, wrestling Diedrich Navarro, the redshirt freshman from Nampa, Idaho, a state champion there in Idaho. And we saw Holman. He's got some quicks, J.D.
Absolutely saw it there on that re-attack.
Navarro 7-4 on the season, ranked 32nd in the country. Quick escape from the Wildcat makes it 3-1. Navarro 7 victories, as I mentioned. He can score some points. 5 tech falls and a fall on his resume. 1-2 in dual meets. That was a fun dual meet with Cal Poly and Cal Baptist.
Yeah, this one's set to be a fun one too. They're busting out the spotlight for the Wildcats.
Northwestern in those purple singlets once again. Here is Holman. He's been living on the legs tonight on a single leg.
Yes, he has. He likes to shoot it to that right leg of his opponent. Navarro making him earn this one, though.
Navarro fighting that right wrist.
Yep, that's just what I was about to point out. Did a phenomenal job of breaking the lock. Holman's trying to get his hands back locked together. He's got to keep coming behind, keep his ear tight to the thigh, and pop it out just like that.
Second takedown for Holman, leading it 6-1. Couple of takedowns. Sinks in a claw. Holman was a runner-up at the Tiger-style invite, fell to Matt Ramos. And a runner-up at the Roadrunner Open, fell to Barrett Jordan of Oklahoma. Roadrunner Open wrestled at Cal State Bakersfield. Oh, and coming right back is Navarro, but Holman able to defend. You see the flexibility there from the Mustang as they wrestle on the edge.
Man, Navarro had him with that double, sat him on his butt, but Holman was able to adjust, get that far leg back, and now the two are scrambling, far ankle to ankle.
45 to go in this first period. Good action here with Navarro and Holman to kick off this dual meet with Cal Poly and Northwestern. Both guys, the ankles tied up, a stalemate is whistled. With 34 ticks to go, we'll bring both guys center mats. Navarro, Michigan State Open freshman sophomore division, was third. And 2-2 in Vegas. Shot there in the final 10 seconds from Navarro. Another attack from the Wildcat, defended by Holman's Whizzer. Trying to step over Navarro, but time will expire. And it's 6-2 to the second period. Disappointed Matt Storniolo, JD. I just saw Matt Storniolo in the back without the suit on. Northwestern staff is one of the best dressed staffs in college wrestling. It has been.
You have to
think about Michigan, NC State, Northwestern. Good mat return there from Navarro. Quickly popping back up Holman. Fighting hands, looking to add to his lead with an escape. Navarro sticking to him like glue. It was a stall call on Navarro. I'm not sure if I like that call, JD. He was doing all he could.
Yeah, and I did think it was pretty quick.
Tom Ryan always looks good. Jay Jaggers used to be, I think, the coolest dressed coach in college wrestling to get away from it.
He
Jaggers
did.
always
he's a little more basic
style
now, you know, with the athletic wear and tennis shoes. He used to bust out the suit and the boots.
And Holman, he had to earn that escape. He gets it. And now he's up 7-2. And, of course, he got the sweater vests of Scott Goodale at Rutgers and Mark Manning at Nebraska. Taylor going with the sweater vest in Stillwater. Of course, John Smith always rocked the sweater vest.
I don't think he's done sweater vests. He's done vests. I've
Okay.
seen him, but I don't think sweater vest. You know, I like the sweaters of Kevin Dresser.
Yes, he had a good one on this past Sunday when they wrestled North Dakota State. Here's Navarro. A takedown will put him right back into this match. And it puts Holman on a hip. He's got that ankle scooped up if he can just clear his head.
Yeah, he's got to try and grab that foot, plant it, extend it so he can pop his head out, but Navarro's
there he
doing a good
goes.
job.
Pushed off that right knee. It's 7-5, half a minute, second period. JD, I think I speak for both of us. Isn't it great when guys just come out and scrap?
It really is.
8-5. Again, my message, exhaust that scoreboard. When you take the mat, you want to take a glance at that scoreboard and just be able to tell it wants no part of you.
You know, I appreciate the guys who go out there and say, hey, I'm an entertainer. I'm going to put on a show for the fans.
And time runs out in the second period, 8-5, as Navarro gets a takedown to put himself right back into this match. You see Justin Oliver there along with Joe Rao. Joe Rao recently added to the staff. Olympian Joe Rao won a national title in Division III at Elmhurst under Steve Marinetti, who beat Lincoln McElravy to win a national title for Illinois, mid-90s. McElravy then came back, won his third title, beating Chris Bono of Iowa State. Going off of memory, believe he hit a boot scoot.
It's a safe bet.
A safe bet, exactly. Man, was he something, Lincoln McElravy. Think back to that match against Abbas of Fresno State.
Oh, yeah.
As a freshman, he was down big. 8-6, Navarro with an escape, that quick escape, so big. Man, these guys are letting it rip. Riding time and on factor, 2-point match. Navarro and Holman here at 125. Counterattack there from Holman.
And I would have liked to see Navarro hop off to the same side that Holman has a hold of. Instead, he dropped off to the opposite side where we're now kind of in a 50-50, position here.
Yeah, Navarro's got those ankles tied up. You see Holman trying to make that turn and free his feet. We're down to 50 seconds. Stalemates. I got a feeling these next 48 seconds, JD, get ready.
What do both these guys have left in the gas tank? They haven't appeared to tire too much yet to this point. Holman's got to be careful backing up to the edge like this.
He's so good with those counterattacks. Down to 25 seconds. And diving in on a single leg, but the hips there from Navarro. But this is good for Holman, just hanging on. It's a time hog.
For sure, and he's doing a good job of keeping his feet in bounds. You see him there circling in.
Good awareness. And what a night for Coda Holman. Picks up a couple of victories. Gets a pin against Cal Baptist. And here is an 8-6 decision over Diedrich Navarro of Northwestern. As they did against Cal Baptist, the Mustangs. Behind Coda Holman, take the early lead in the dual meet. The decision makes it 3-0.
I'll tell you what, I like this Coda Holman.
I do
he can
too.
wrestle. He's not afraid to come out there and toe the line, that's for sure. Really fast like we saw on this first takedown here that he got. The re-attack. Continued to attack throughout the entire match. Didn't sit on the lead. Wrestled smart as well, not just hard. Good stuff there from the Mustang.
Of course, here on Flow Wrestling, it is wrestling, 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 and a little bit more wrestling. Some great events coming up. Utah Valley and Oregon State. That'll be a great one. The Beast of the East, one of the great high school tournaments. Girls and boys right here on Flow Wrestling. And the Southern Scuffle down at University Tennessee Chattanooga to kick off 2025. 133 pounds, that is Caleb Park. Park fell to Damian Alvarez, 3-0 earlier tonight. That was the first dual meet of his career. He's out of San Diego, California. Poway High School, no Zeth Romney tonight for the Mustangs. And Massey Odiati, a sophomore, true sophomore, up from 125 for Northwestern. 3-5 this season. Out of Wilmette, Illinois. School's first state champion at Loyola Academy. Won it as a senior in 3A in Illinois. In position to score right here. Nice back trip and gets the 3.
Super physical there, and he did a good job of immediately, or I shouldn't say maybe immediately, but very quickly coming up to his feet on the finish. I said in the last duel, that's a position of advantage, right? When you can get a guy on one foot. But he did a good job of getting there quickly and not allowing Park to get to a whizzer, right?
He's got that wrist, looking for a roll-through tilt. Odiati, Michigan State Open runner-up in the freshman-sophomore division. 0-2 in Vegas. He was 11-18 last season, JD, for Northwestern at 125. 2-6 in Big Ten duels as a true freshman. These are the guys he lost to. Matt Ramos, Patrick McKee, Eric Barnett, Drake Ayala, Caleb Smith. Welcome to the Big Ten, son.
Welcome to the Big Ten.
And he wrestled well. He lost to Ramos 11-4, and I called the match against Patrick McKee. He fell into the go for 18-12. This guy's got some skills. And Matt Storniolo just does a really good job. You look at the last 10 years, JD, what they've done at Northwestern, he's been phenomenal. Several top 10 finishes, national champions. Most recently, Ryan Deacon. Cannot believe it's been a decade already since Jason Surtis won it at 149.
Yeah.
Man, time flies. Slide by attempt there from Odiati, counter shot from Park.
I want to talk about good true freshman. Jason Surtis. That was
Yes.
his freshman year he won that.
Yes, it was. And then he ended at Arizona State, got on the stand again. Odiati, another takedown, his second, leads at 6-1. The riding time nearing 90 seconds. Definitely going to text Storniolo later and just ask him, where was the suit? Because they bring it.
Yeah, he's
got to look good.
Got the fancy shoes.
There you see Chris Cannon and Trevor Chumbley to your right. Chumbley and Cannon a little bit banged up. Good to see Chris Cannon
back.
Two-time All-American at Northwestern, went to Michigan last year, just wrestled in one match, and now he's back at Northwestern. I like that.
I do too. Fortunately, a guy who has struggled with injuries throughout his career and happening once again, you hate to see that.
Good period here for Odiotti. 2 takedowns, almost 2 minutes of riding time. Finishes the period on top. Looking to roll him through late. Getting a text from Travis Shive saying JD wasn't even alive when McElroy beat Abbas. What were you born in, 96 maybe? 97. Oh,
March of 97.
John Cerritos in his 9th season as head coach of the Mustangs. Odiotti starting period on bottom. Does a really nice job there, JD, in defending that leg coming in.
Yeah, he caught it coming in. He felt it coming in, caught it, and then used it, right? If you just catch that leg when it's coming in, sometimes your leg can be pinned to your thigh and your stomach, but he caught it and used it. And now, looking for this cross wrist tilt that he just got. He tried that about 8 times in the first period and couldn't get it, but you knock on the door, you knock on the door, you knock on the door. Eventually, you're going to bust it open.
In the first 30 seconds, gets that reversal, 4 near fall. Now he's got a cradle locked up and looking for a fall here at 133, and he gets the slap of the mat. Macy Odiotti, up from 125 pounds, brought the offense to San Luis Obispo and gets the fall for the Wildcats, and Northwestern goes out in front 6-3. Talk about urgency, JD.
Yeah, no kidding. As soon as he jumped to this cradle, powered, park over, settled his hips in, and picked up the fall all in a matter of about 4 seconds.
Turn the page to 141 pounds. That is Jagger French. Now you're looking at Josu Hickman. He's a true freshman. This is the first dual meets of his career, 2-2 at the Michigan State Open. He's from Goodyear, Arizona, Canyon View. Multiple-time placer, won a state title. Part of a team state championship as well for the Jaguars. They're in Goodyear. Corbin Shepard here for Cal Poly. Shepard earlier tonight fell to Eli Griffin, 10-0. Shane Sparks, JD Rader here in our Flow headquarters in Austin, Texas. FloWrestling Night in America. I like this West Coast wrestling. Love it.
Yeah, if you don't mind staying up here, if you're on Eastern or Central time.
No score, 1:45 remaining here in the first.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a feel-out process here in the first half of this first period.
Both guys with an underhook.
There's a decent shot from Hickman. Now, I don't like how far away his head is from the thigh. There he's trying to get it in better position.
Looking to score on the edge, and he gets the takedown. The takedown awarded to Hickman.
I'm not sure if that was takedown criteria. I thought you had to put him on that far hip in order to get the takedown, but
no challenge brick coming in. from the bench of Cal Poly. And there's an escape for Shepard. Shepard, a redshirt junior from Blue Springs, Missouri. 4-time finalist, 2-time champion. The 2021 Missouri High School Wrestler of the Year, now 1-5. After falling to Eli Griffin earlier tonight. Out of high school, spent 3 seasons at Missouri there in Columbia. Before coming to San Luis Obispo. Short time in this first period. Front headlock here for Hickman. Going to beat that left shoulder, get a go behind. The time is going to run out. San Luis Obispo, roughly halfway between LA and San Francisco, Central Coast of California. California Polytechnic State University, Cal Poly. Hickman, that quick escape, those 10-second escapes. Gets a takedown, quick escape.
You know, that could be a bit of an inexperienced thing, right? You know, this. You said this is a true freshman, and
look at that.
Okay.
Another cradle. We saw Odiani get a pin with the cradle. And Josu Hickman does the same thing. Back-to-back falls for the Wildcats. And they now lead it 12-3.
And Shepard looks a little shaken up. I think he might have taken a shot to the head. Looks a little dazed.
So Josu Hickman goes and shakes the hand of Corbin Shepard, gets his arm raised. And Northwestern now leading it 12-3. 29th ranked Sam Cartella coming up next for Northwestern at 149. It is FloWrestling Night in America here on Flow Sports. Sports are better on the big screen. Head to your preferred device app store to download the all-new Flow Sports TV apps for Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, and Chromecast. Set your favorites. Search our library of live and on-demand content and so much more. Download today. All right, here we go. 149 pounds. Jagger French for Cal Poly. And Sam Cartella ranked 29th in the country for Northwestern. The redshirt freshman goes to a 2-on-1. Cartella from Hudson, Ohio, Western Reserve Academy. 1-1 in dual meets for the Cats, 2-2 in Vegas. Really solid redshirt campaign last year. Won over 20 matches, was 2-0 in duels, and now we got blood. JD, it's hard to keep the lamers organized.
There's a lot of them.
I've been talking about Legend Lamer, and I said he was ranked 8th. I've said that a couple of times tonight, but it's Chance Lamer. You're telling me he's the one that's ranked.
Yeah, at 149 pounds. Who, unfortunately, he's not in action tonight.
Legend Lamer, one of the best names in college wrestling.
I'll tell you what, if you have a name like Legend, you got to be pretty freaking good. Or you're putting high expectations on your child.
And he won 15-0 earlier tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Flow rankings pulled up?
Yeah.
Check out the rankings at Flow Wrestling. Is Legend ranked at 157?
He is not. He has been
not, okay.
in the past.
Well, I've been giving him some love. It's Christmas time. Why not? I have a feeling when it's all said and done, he'll be ranked 8th in the country at some point in his career.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
No score. Yeah, JD, disappointing. I mean, the record continues with 3,172 consecutive broadcasts with a mistake. Chasing down perfection. I love the pursuit. But I got the Lamers mixed up. A lot of state titles in that household. No score here with Cartella and French. Midway through this first period. French fell to Paul Kelly 7-1 earlier tonight. Cartella here with an opportunity to finish a single leg. Treetops a single, gonna create some more real estate. I really like this, JD. You got plenty of time, bring him center of the mat, and then finish it.
Finish it in that spotlight.
Puts it above his shoulder. Look at the flexibility and balance from French. Now he dives for the ankles with the roll.
Gotta protect your ankles.
French backing in, pressure back into Cartella. On to 40 seconds. They continue wrestling with 30 seconds left in this first period. What do you see here, JD?
Yeah, it's really tough to finish from there. I think Cartella just got a little anxious on that finish, right? He was trying to chase French down, and that allowed French to roll underneath and grab the ankles. He maybe would have just slowed it down just a little bit. You got to be able to sprawl those legs back so you can't give up your ankles, because then it is really hard to finish a takedown when you get into that 50-50 position where each guy has a far ankle.
Cartella back to that 2-on-1, final seconds in this first period. Gets behind the arm, snakes a leg in.
It's almost a Merkel position, but he's behind both arms.
The officials are going to discuss this.
And that's what Cartella's saying, was behind both arms, my leg was in.
Both arms, had that leg snaked in.
No, oh, he did
give him the thread. I think that's a great call.
Shouldn't it have been locked hands, though, because he was behind both arms with his hands locked?
I have to see another look. So Cartella scores the takedown in the final seconds of the first. And now French will go on bottom. No chance, Lamer. The two-time NCAA qualifier off to a 5-0 start for the Mustangs. Good return there from Cartella. Mentioned it earlier tonight. French's father, Mike, was a Pac-10 champion at Cal Poly at 190 back in 1998. His mother's name is littered all over the record books. She was a phenomenal pitcher at Cal Poly. Inducted into the Cal Poly Athletics Hall of Fame in 2003. Riding time coming up on 1 minute. Cartella's got that hammer lock.
Yeah, and I really like what he's doing here. He's still working, being active, improving position, but he's not going crazy and, abandoning the hips. He is kind of ready in the hips, but he's still working for these turns.
He's got a wrist, JD. Dangerous territory here for Jagger French. Cartella looking for the tilt. Rolls him through, and now it's going to be some swipes for the Wildcats, Sam Cartella. Three-point takedown and the 4-point near fall. 7-0.
Continuing to attack those wrists.
Northwestern with falls at 133 and 141 for Massi Odiati at 133 and Josu Hickman. They lead at 12-3. Coda Holman winning a fun match at 125 for Cal Poly. 7-0 for Cartella. He's got the choice, and he picks top.
I like it. You've got the advantage. You've just shown it.
We were talking earlier about Tech Falls in the national finals. Mitch Clark, Ohio State, take top. Man, was he a beast. Talked about some great top wrestlers tonight. Zane Rutherford, Kyle Dake. Kyle might not have scored a ton of points on top.
Nobody was getting away,
but
though.
he could absolutely, he'd ride you for 15 minutes if he had to.
Oh, yeah.
I've told this story about Dake many times. You know what I loved about him? When I discovered he was an absolute from another planet, Dake would be one of those guys, be beating you 10-0 off a restart with like 9 seconds left. A lot of times you give the escape, it doesn't change anything, it's a major decision. Not with Kyle Dake, never. And he told me it was always to let that guy know, like, don't give him any reason to think he can do any better the next time. Take his hope away then.
Gladiator mindset.
8-0.
I'd like to see Cartella go back to that cross wrist tilt. I really like the way he was setting it up, using momentum, going one direction, then the other.
Roll there from French, but Cartella sticks right with him and out of bounds. What were the big topics today on Flow Radio Live?
Talked a little bit about FloWrestling Night in America, and then also there's another big duel tonight up in Stillwater. That one I think is going on right now. Not sure how that one's going.
Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech.
And then the collegiate duels out in Nashville this weekend as well. Also, did you see these new JUCO NCAA eligibility rules?
I did.
You can now do 1 or 2 years of NJCAA, and it doesn't go against your college eligibility.
I'm not sure what to think of that. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't hate it. I'm caring less and less about how much the NCAA is changing because we're not going to stop it. So get on board.
And we've been seeing a lot of that because of the COVID year, guys that are 6, 7-year guys.
Yep.
I mean, pretty common.
I will say, I don't think, could be wrong, I've been wrong many times before, but I don't think it's going to change a whole lot in Division I wrestling because I just don't think that many guys want to forego a year of training in a D1 room just to get 2 more years of eligibility. When we've seen sometimes these 6, 7-year guys, their bodies can't take it anymore, or their minds. You know, by that point, you're getting older, you're checking out.
Sam Cartella with the riding time. Nearly 4 minutes, gets the 9-0 major decision. 4 on the board for the Wildcats, and Northwestern extends its lead. They are now up 16-3 on Cal Poly.
Here's that takedown we saw. Originally not ruled a takedown, ultimately end up being reversed and called a takedown, but it was the top game of Cartella that really separated him in this match.
£157, Jacob Bostelman. And Gavin Fernandez for Cal Poly. We saw Legend Lamer get a tech fall earlier tonight against Cal Baptist. This is Gavin Fernandez. Fernandez with an underhook, right side. Postelman from Parker, Colorado, Wrestled at Ponderosa, won a state championship there, multiple-time placer. They've pumped some hammers out of Ponderosa.
Yes, they have. Shoot, at this way, at the Division I level, Cardenas, I believe, is from there, isn't he? Daniel Cardenas, I believe he is at Stanford.
This is Bostelman's first dual meet of his career. No score, 60 seconds into this first period. Gavin Fernandez, a redshirt freshman from Danville, California. De La Salle High School. Placed at the CIF State Championships twice at 152. Fourth as a junior, fifth as a senior in 2023.
There's a good single leg from Bostelman. Again, though, getting his head a bit far from that leg. You know, when you finish a single leg, generally speaking, you want to keep that head tight to the thigh as you come around for your finish.
And this is the first dual meet for Gavin Fernandez in his career as well. So both these guys getting a taste tonight. Fernandez this season 1-2 at the Roadrunner Open. Got to be pretty cool, JD, to get the nod, get to put that singlet on for the first time, represent your school, your family for the first time in a Division I college wrestling match. To both these guys, welcome to the big leagues. Slide by there from Fernandez. Fernandez off a 2-on-1. Final seconds with a shot. He gets to the body, but is unable to finish. And he's got some of that fast twitch stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. Came really close there, and he's come close a couple times. There was a re-attack earlier in the period, and then we saw 2 times there late where he showed it. But it's just about finishing, putting 2 of those together, putting a sequence together, and completing the sequence for the takedown. That flash is only so good, you know, if you're not actually going to convert it to a takedown.
Bostelman gets the quick escape inside of 15 seconds to take a 1-0 lead. Bostelman and Fernandez. They're at 157. First college dual meet for both these guys. Here's Bostelman trying to fight through a whizzer from Fernandez. Elbow deep on a single leg.
Yeah, I think I'd bring this all the way up. Try and get some space and extend. He's behind the knee right now. You're going to want to get behind the ankle.
Goes for the head, now slides into an underhook, but not going to finish. Stalemates. Looking at this weight class 157 FloWrestling rankings, Ja'Cory Tima ranked number 1, Myra Shapiro ranked number 2. Both those guys banged up. Tyler Kasek up from 149 at Penn State's ranked 3rd. Antrell Taylor down from 165 is ranked 4th. And Ryder Downey ranked 5th. UNI. 1-0 match here. The lone score, Bostelman's escape, but a little bit more purpose behind that attack, JD.
Absolutely. You notice his head stayed in good position that time. His head was tight there that time. He finished actually kind of out front instead of coming around behind and giving up a whizzer.
Good explosive shot there from Bostelman. Now up 4-0. Now with 20 seconds, of course, want to finish the period on top. Up on the shoe tops, forward pressure. Digging into the Resolite. Switches sides. And a quick escape, a takedown, finishing the period on top. That's how you get it done right there. Jacob Bostelman 4-0. And Fernandez wants to stay on his feet, so we're neutral. Both guys quickly tie up.
You're going to need multiple here if you're Fernandez, so you can't wait.
Yeah, don't start that sprint with 30 seconds left. Shot from Bostelman.
We had like 53 minutes, but I was just in case.
Not sure if Fernandez is a little tired, but I'm not seeing too much of a sense of urgency.
For Fernandez, JD, you would think he'd want to operate from some space. He's quick. Down to 25 seconds. Good defense there from Bostelman. Front headlock. Defending the shot from Fernandez. Parker, Colorado native Jacob Bostelman picks up his first dual meet victory in his career in that Northwestern singlets. It's a decision for Bostelman and the Wildcats at 157. And Northwestern pulling away. They now lead at 19-3.
There's that takedown from Bostelman. Excellent entry, excellent finish.
One of the great high school wrestling tournaments in the country, the Beast of the East. Watch all the action right here on FloWrestling. Talked to Andy Hamilton last night. He was getting on the early flight for the Beast.
Yep, headed straight there.
£165. This is Cash Stewart. He lost a tough one to Mason Espinosa earlier tonight. And Max Mayfield, 5th year for Northwestern, his 3rd year as a starter for the Wildcats. 2-time national qualifier. Was the 31 seed in Kansas City last March, was 2-2. Reached the round of 16. Nice work there with an underhook, threw it by, gets to the legs and finishes.
Yeah, he's looking like a 5th year guy out there. You know, he's a guy who I'm sure has really stepped up into a leadership role on this team. And when you're in that position, you got to go out there and take care of business and back it up.
Max Mayfield ranked 11th in the country. FloWrestling college rankings. Mayfield 8-3 to start the season. 2-0 in dual meets. Was 2-2 in Vegas. Earlier this season was 3rd at the Michigan State Open. Fell to Bryce Hepner of Ohio State. Hepner went on to win the title. Underhook once again. Both guys with an underhook. Stewart from Arlington, Wisconsin, Poinet High School, where he claimed the school's first ever state championship. Roadrunner Open Championship, beat Guillermo Escobedo of Cal State Bakersfield 6-1 to claim that title. But here's the second takedown for Mayfield. Thought he might have had a cradle locked up. Instead, he'll spin around behind. Give the escape 6-2.
And I have no idea, honestly, how he even got it. Pulled himself in to that cradle that he did have for a couple of seconds. He was so far away, barely had the toes, and just continued to hustle through that position.
Max Mayfield from Lincoln East High School, where he won 3 state titles. Last year, 17-17, was 4th at the Midlands 2 years ago. Won 25 matches. Done a really good job there with Northwestern. Placed 5th at the Big Tens in 2023. Did not place last March at Maryland. Likes that underhook on the right side. He's back there once again. Jacks him up, now snaps him into a front headlock. Good snap, looking to get behind. And in the final 20 seconds, tack on his 3rd takedown of the contest. 9-2. You've said it before, JD, tonight a couple of times. Want to reiterate it. When you get to a place where you're good, go.
And
it's
that's
not
what
easy
we
to
saw
get
there.
there.
No, and Mayfield knew, hey, I'm in this front headlock position. I need to take advantage. That takedown, the go behind he got, there wasn't a whole lot of technique really involved there. It was hustle, and that's what I've seen that I really like from Mayfield tonight. 2 things, physicality and hustle.
Ends the period with a good mat return on top. I can't break down technique, JD. I didn't wrestle in college. Did win the Fonda Youth Classic a few times, but I don't want to brag too much. But when it comes to technique, I understand technique is king. But sometimes it's just about fight.
I heard this from Cale Sanderson. Okay, so you can take it as basically scripture. And he said, hustle first, technique second. I forget the exact words he used, but the sentiment was, hustle beats technique when technique doesn't hustle.
I like that. 9-3 Mayfield. Just getting gritty. Doing the hard things.
Mm-hmm.
I love the letter P in wrestling. I've always said, and I'm going to market this better somehow, but the letter P in wrestling, and I got them all written down, and there's a bunch of them. Nice job once again there for Mayfield. But it's your preparation, your pace, your physicality, your purpose. Call goes wrong, your poise. Got to have a little paranoia. You're never safe. So there's all these P's, and I want to put all these P's and then one word in the middle of it all, and that is hustle.
Mm-hmm.
12-4. Mayfield bonus points territory here at 165, ranked 11th in the nation. Quick shot there off the whistle, good recovery. Man, he has been just busy. I mean, watch his hands and feet. And now Stewart with a single leg, but he has crunched underneath those hips of Mayfield. Another thing you hear from wrestling people, move your hands, move your feet. What's the last thing you tell yourself before you toe the line? Move your hands, move your feet.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Roman Bravo Young once said, slow feet don't eat.
Yep. And I looked it up here, and it was the quote from Cale that I saw was hustle first, technique second.
Yeah, don't listen to us. Don't listen to us. Listen to Mr. 159-0, some blood there on Cash Stewart's. That is Chris Chianuma, assistant coach, along with the trainer for Cal Poly. For the Wildcats, had a quick look at Justin Oliver. For Matt Storniolo in his 10th season, assisted by B.J. Futrell, Justin Oliver, Joe Rao, of course, Tim Szewski, always closely involved with Northwestern. Heads up the Midlands. I mean, Stewart has just, or Mayfield rather, just been relentless.
Yeah, I thought he had the angle there and the opportunity to get to Stewart's right leg, but he didn't take it.
Final seconds in this second period. Mayfield with riding time over a minute. We're neutral.
Great single leg there, and he's really smartly working through the finish here as you see him shelved.
Another cradle. We've seen a couple from Northwestern. Odiani and Hickman with cradles tonight for pins. 15-4. Max Mayfield smelling a tech fall here in San Luis Obispo inside Mott Athletic Center. Shane Sparks, J.D. Rayner, FloWrestling Night in America. We've had 5 dual meets the past couple of nights. Big thanks to the production crew. People working hard. It's a big effort.
It really has.
But this is going to be huge. Love being a part of it as Mayfield plants Stewart back into the res lane for 3 more. Midweek wrestling. Something to hold us over in between the weekends.
I wait from Sunday through Friday.
Max Mayfield gets the takedown and the tech fall, 21-6. Max Mayfield exhausting the scoreboard here at 165. More bonus points for the Cats as they now lead it 24-3. We head to 174 pounds. The Wildcats leading the Mustangs. It is FloWrestling Night in America here on Flow Sports. (24-3) Northwestern leading Cal Poly. Upcoming events here on Flow Wrestling. Beast of the East, girls and boys action. The Garlic City Rumble, we'll have it right here. Flow Wrestling Night in America to kick off 2025. The Southern Scuffle, they're on January 4th and 5th. And I want to make note, January 8th, Bishop McCourt, Wyoming Seminary. That is going to be a fun scrap.
Might be the best high school duel of the entire year.
We're 174 pounds here with Aiden Vandenbush of Northwestern. And a nice takedown from Blake Hendrickson of Cal Poly. Kendall LaRosa wrestled earlier tonight at 174. Failed to Carter Schmidt 4-1 in the Mustangs' loss to Cal Baptist. Vandenbush, a redshirt junior from Random Lake, Wisconsin.
Wow, I like that arm drag to the single leg from Hendrickson. He wasn't able to get it on the first attempt. Went back to it, actually used it as a re-attack to pick up 3 more.
Good first minute, 6-1. Sinks in a claw right off the whistle. And Vandenbush with his second escape. Hendrickson from Washington, Illinois, Washington Community High School. Redshirt junior. He leads at 6-2 in this first period. First dual meet of the season for the Mustang. Placed at the Roadrunner Open back on November 24th. That is his only action this season. Working off an underhook. Out of bounds. Vandenbush wrestling at 174, JD. He's 4-4 this season. Last year, wrestled 149 at the Big Tens.
Three-way jump, you don't see that too often.
Nice finish. Third takedown, and it's 9-2.
Yeah, that was just power from Hendrickson, getting his head across the body and then using his strength to pick Vandenbush up, put him down.
Vandenbush, a three-time state place winner at Random Lake. What a state title for Random Lake in 2021. He was 2-2 at the Michigan State Open and 2-2 at the Cleveland State Open as well. And even 4-4, he's down by 6. That was a big first period. 3 takedowns, 9-3. This 174-pound weight class had been occupied by Troy Fisher. But his body could no longer take the grind of the Big Ten. Wish him the best. He was fun to watch. I always liked watching his matches. He brought it.
Yes, he was. You know, that's kind of the thing I was alluding to earlier when we were talking about the new junior college eligibility rules, that it might not be a smart idea to go the juke route. If you think you can be actually competitive at the Division I level in your first or second year out of high school, take advantage of those years, because, you know, the last 4, 5, 6, 7, they're not guaranteed.
Shot there from the Wildcat, defended by Hendrickson, who's up 10-3.
Nice underhook throw by. It was the technique that got him in there, but I'll tell you what, Shane, it was the hustle that got him the finish.
And this is, just notice this, JD, my apologies. This is Blake. I was talking about his brother Abe. Because we didn't have these guys on the we didn't plan on him.
On the probables.
So I bust out the computer, I just type in the last name, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. Still from Washington, Illinois. Blake is a redshirt freshman. His brother Abe's a redshirt junior. Let's see what Blake has done this season. Pouring it on tonight, now 13-4. He wrestled the Roadrunner Open as well. And the Tiger Style Invite, 1 dual meet so far. Fell to Lorenzo Norman of Stanford in the duel against the Cardinal.
Norman's tough, man.
He's very good.
Ended up making
Blake
the finals.
is 4-4 on the season. Well, I got to talk about both brothers a little bit.
Both Henriksen some shine. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Blake here tonight.
I mean, it has been pedal to the metal this entire match. Been super offensive. High attack rate, just not hanging out in ties.
He's done it with a variety of attacks as well. We saw the underhook throw by, a couple single legs. That one, a different entry than his first single leg. And I thought maybe we heard some stalling calls coming through.
Rod wants the stall call.
Yes, they did. I don't mind that action called. I mean, it was Henriksen who really was forcing the action to the edge. There wasn't much Vandenbush can do, and then when they did get to the edge, he stopped. He didn't actually end up running out of bounds. So.
(24-3) Northwestern. Coda Holman, the lone victor for the Mustangs at 125. That was a good match. Beat Diedrich Navarro 8-6. Vandenbush reaching for that opposite ankle. Now going to drag him back in, create himself some space. Nice job there from Vandenbush. I like that, JD. I mean, you're really getting control to the match. You're real easy to kind of hang your head, feel sorry for yourself.
Well, it's like what you were saying with Kyle Dake, right? And that mentality he had where I didn't want any opponent to think that he could do better than he did the next time we wrestled. And now, for Vandenbush, kind of getting throttled a little bit, but you get this takedown down at the end. That's something you can build upon, and you can go away going, okay, but yeah, but you know what? I won the last 90 seconds.
Just says something about the way you compete. So 13-8 final. Blake Henderson for Cal Poly gets the decision at 174. Makes it 24-6. Both those guys let it fly. Fun match to watch. A lot of points.
We're going to take a look at some of the action from that match. Here's Henriksen working through his finish. Excellent textbook finish there on the single leg. Like I said, he kind of used a variety. He likes the single leg, but a variety of entries and a variety of finishes as well from the Mustang.
Here is Evan Wick, four-time All-American, wrestled at Wisconsin and ended his career at Cal Poly. Here is John Halverson in his 6th year out of Park Ridge, Illinois, Maine South High School. State placer, was a runner-up his senior year. And Dashiell Lamer, redshirt freshman from Corvallis, Oregon, 4-time state champion at Crescent Valley, part of 3 team championships. Still need to find out what family in Oregon has the most state titles. The Lamer's got to be in the mix.
I
mean, double-digit state titles in the family.
That's a lot.
Dad Chad was a 3-time national champion at South Dakota States. Mom Ann, a 6-time All-American, 10,000-meter national champ. Some good genes. Lamer fell to Nathan Haas, 8-5. Haas scoring late. So Lamer an even 7-7 on the season. Shot there from Lamer, but look at those hips from Halverson.
Yeah, this is a tough position.
Him crunched. Lamer works up.
Some of them I'm like,
Halverson last season wrestled a couple of matches at heavyweight.
I don't know, wrestling was a sport I could never understand.
Wildcat was 2-2 in Vegas. 6th at the Michigan State Open. He made the semis and then medically forfeited his 6th. 1-1 in dual meets for Northwestern. We're scoreless. 1:15 left in this first period. Halverson and Lamer.
Andrew Garfield and Tim Holland. I don't know. My favorite is Amazing Spider-Man.
Shot there from Daschle. Good recovery.
Lamer's definitely been the more active wrestler here in this first period so far.
Andrew Garfield brought that character to life.
Hasn't come ultimately super close, but he could at least be getting the officials thinking about hitting Halverson for stalling.
Half a minute.
Oh yeah, no way home.
Here inside Mott Athletic Center on the campus of Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, California. This venue opened back in 1960. It was refurbished in 1998. Cool wrestling venue for the Mustangs. Opening 3 minutes, scoreless. Wildcat will go on bottom. So glad to have you with us on this Thursday evening. FloWrestling Night in America. Shane Sparks alongside J.D. Rader. Lamer with the hook. Now goes Claw off the whistle. Keeping the weight on the hands of Halverson. Pinching that right side. Now Halverson's to his feet. Lamer staying right with him. Good little return as he sneaks a boot in right side, goes crossbody ride.
Yeah, that was a tricky little trip from Lamer on the feet. And I know you love a big mat return, Shane, but sometimes those trips can be just as effective.
100%, JD, 100%. I mean, I like them all. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, 100%. Just that little forward trip.
Yep. I will say this, though. You got to be good at it before you should really use it a bunch in competition. A lot of times you'll see younger wrestlers that they don't want to make the hard decision to do a good mat return, so they'll take kind of a lazy route with the trip. And if you're not good at it, you can actually put yourself in some danger. But when you are good at it, you can use it with good effectiveness.
Already over a minute of riding time. Claw ride there from Lamer. Down to 40 seconds left in the period.
Halverson should try and grab those laces of the right leg of Lamer, throw him off, put him in the back pocket, get up to your feet. You know, if you just let him stay there, that right foot's going to come in.
Yeah, didn't seal off. Lamer again slides the boot in. He's got Halverson flat. And he is 20 seconds away from riding out the Wildcat this entire second period after a scoreless first.
And Halverson took bottom, too, so Lamer's going to have decision in the third.
Thinking Lamer probably goes bottom?
Probably. He might think about top. Bottom's
go
a
on
smart
bottom.
choice, though.
But with that three-point takedown, I mean, this is a situation where Lamer in that top position there in that second period, you know, control this match. If he gets a quick escape, he'll be up, 1-0. He'll have that riding time perhaps, but all of a sudden Halverson scores a takedown, takes the lead.
Yeah.
Quick escape makes it 1-0. No surprise there that Halverson not overly committed in the top position. He's got to get to work on his feet.
I'll tell you what, though, Halverson didn't have much going in the first period. He was able to fend off all of Lamer's attacks, but likely Lamer's not going to open up too much here with 80 seconds to go, so Halverson's going to have to create some of his own offense.
And I'm getting exercise, so.
Good shot from Halverson. Strong hips, though, from Lamer.
For basketball, you have the coaches yelling at you. You have the players.
Yeah, look at Lamer just almost stepping over, threatening, but Halverson recovers. Lamer's doing a good job of wrestling in, though. He's going to have to try and get that right leg back, or...
Now he's got the ankles.
Yep. And this is going to be definitely a clock eater. Oh, we get a quick stalemate, okay.
Lamer this season 5th at the Tiger Style Invites. Won the Roadrunner Open for the 2nd time. And recently 2-2 at the CKLV in Las Vegas. He's got the riding time locked up. He's up 2-0. But Halverson can steal it. He's got a half a minute remaining. Lamer drifting back a little bit. Don't believe JD has been hit for stalling. And if you're Halverson, or Lamer rather, it's okay. You get hit with stalling.
Yep.
Good tactics here from Lamer. Knows the situation, knows exactly where he's at. And with the riding time point, it's going to be a 2-0 decision for Dashiell Lamer. 1-1 on the nights. Now 8-7 on the season. Back-to-back decisions for the Mustangs at 174 and 184. 24-9 Northwestern on the team scoreboard with 2 matches to go. Looks like they put 2 seconds back on the clock. And that will not change a thing. Lamer, your winner at 184.
I do believe the final score there, 2-0.
Northwestern has this duel on ice. They'll improve to 2-1, but still 2 more matches at 197 in heavyweight. It's FloWrestling Night in America here on Flow Sports. Southern Scuffle coming up right here on FloWrestling January 4th and 5th from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lots of great action coming up here on FloWrestling. East of the East taking place. Girls and boys action this weekend on FloWrestling. Bates and Hodges here at 197. Evan Bates, ranked 19th in the country. A runner-up in Vegas, fell to Jacob Cardenas of Michigan in that final. He was a runner-up at the Michigan State Open as well. Lost to Cody Merrill of Oklahoma State. Quickly out in front, 3-0. Third-year starter. National qualifier a year ago, was 1-2 in Kansas City as a 33 seed. Tyler Hodges, redshirt freshman from Clovis, California, Clovis High School. As a senior, he was 5th at the CIF State Championships at 182.
It's good movement from Bates, going one direction and the other, then the other. Did end up getting that elbow tied up so he couldn't score, but Hodges is called for stalling as they go out of bounds. And there, Bates gets it done off the restart. Just a nice single leg. He wants to continue to work on the feet.
2 takedowns for the Wildcat in this first period, 90 seconds in. Tyler Hodges this season wrestled at the Roadrunner Open, where he was 2-3. This is his first dual meet this season. He got to wrestle once last year, got a win in Cal Poly's dual meet against Cal Baptist. Another takedown here for Bates. Up 9-2. He'll push away the Mustang, giving away another escape, 9-3. Last 3 seasons, Bates combined record right around 500. Good job there on the edge. He corrals both those ankles, and it's 3 more. .35 seconds here in this first period.
30 seconds in the first period, 30 seconds. 20 seconds.
Man, look at the top pressure from Bates. Not on his knees, on his toes.
Make him carry that weight. This time Hodges to his feet. Another escape in the final seconds.
Good short time escape there. Looked like Bates might kind of just slipped. And looking at his hand, I wonder if something happened there.
Yeah, you can tell he's flexing that right hand. That was a takedown. Scoreboard was a little bit late.
There we go, 12-4.
Escape from Hodges, so that score is correct, 12-4. Mustang will go on bottom. That optional starts. Bates pushes away Hodges, 12-5.
Okay, and so the final on that previous match did end up being 3-0.
Okay. You thought you saw the unsportsmanlike.
Yep, they're just at the end, I think, for the headgear toss, which that's been a whole thing recently too. Northwestern.
Okay. Halverson. Okay.
Mm-hmm. In his defense, he thought the match was over.
Oh, look at that double leg. Wow. Freight train double blasting right through. Now 15-5. Riding time coming up on 2 minutes. That was some power from Evan Bates. Bates from Chesterton, Indiana. Multiple-time placer, won a state title in 2020 at 220. He has been really good on his feet. Double leg once again and out of real estate.
Look at Bates just continuing to work.
Keep circling.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeps on circling. Stalemate, 48 seconds left. Bates has the riding time locked up,
My battery hit 0.
so a takedown wouldn't quite do it. That would put him up by 14. Takes a quick glance at the clock.
Here's an
Straight on
opportunity
shot
to
there
score.
from Hodges. Against a guy like Bates, got to get a good angle. A quick go behind right there from Hodges.
But Bates
comes right back with the reversal and with the riding time point. 19-9. 19-9 for Evan Bates. As he improves to 7-3 on the season. Bonus points for the Wildcats.
Just a second period.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jumped the gun. Thank you, JD.
It has been a long 2 periods. I will give you that.
Man, Bates right now, he can, 18 points through 2 periods.
That's right. It has felt like those 2 periods.
27 on the
match.
board combined. Gets a quick escape. Oh, nice work. Throws by off that underhook. Drops down to the legs.
I would like to see Bates readjust his head position. He's got it down underneath the leg. Put it right in between the knee. And now that you've captured both, you got to pop that head out. There he gets the takedown.
There's the takedown for Bates. Counterattack there from Hodges, but Bates able to spin around and get behind for 3 more. And with that, 25-10. A tech fall for Evan Bates. 29-9, Northwestern leads. 1 match to go. We'll wrap it up at heavyweights. It is FloWrestling Night in America here on Flow Sports. Been a fun night. FloWrestling Night in America, doubleheader tonight. We saw Cal Baptist beat Cal Poly 22-16. Final match of the night here at heavyweights with Trevor Tinker. He got a 16-1 tech fall in the win against the Lancers, and it takes him 9 seconds to put up a 3-point takedown on Dirk Morley of Northwestern. Tinker now 11-5 on the season, 2-1 in duels. In his 5th year, a 2-time NCAA qualifier for Cal Poly. Stands 6'7", 285. Ranked 33rd in the country. Good mat return right there from Tinker.
He's an athlete.
He is. He is.
I got a hunch he could have probably, if he would have gone, he could have gone Division I in a couple of sports if he really would have.
He looks the part, no doubt. No doubt. Dirk Morley, a redshirt freshman, 3-5, out of Denver, Colorado. Regis Jesuits reached the stand a couple of times at the state tournaments. He was 9-12 last season as a redshirt in tournaments. Riding time floats over a minute for Trevor Tinker. Tight waist.
Been really impressed with Tinker last match and so far in this match. Just the way he comes out and immediately looks to score and then smothers guys on top.
It's a great word. Smothers, suffocates, blankets.
And you see him just being a pest on those arms, right? So his feet are working, he's kind of hooking ankles, he's laying the weight on, and then he's just a pest, grabbing those wrists and hands and chopping elbows from the inside and the outside. He looks
with
annoying.
Those elbows out. Now he works back up.
1 minute per period, 1 minute.
Again, you look at those toes from Tinker. Digging into the wrestleite, another mat return. 2 minutes of riding time. Morley was 2-2 at the Michigan State Open, 0-2 in Vegas. Again, when those elbows are out, easy to capture those wrists underneath.
30 seconds per period, 30 seconds.
Now working out in front. Keeps that near wrist.
If I remember right, in Tinker's first match, he had almost 3 minutes of riding time in the first period.
Yes, he did. I remember that. It was like 2:45, I think, right? He's going to have over 250 in this first period. FloWrestling rankings at heavyweight. What a weight class. Looking at the top 5. Abel Steveson of Minnesota is back. The reigning champion Greg Kirkfleet ranked 2nd. Wyatt Hendrickson, Captain America, ranked 3rd, now in Stillwater. Younger Bastida of Iowa State. We'll see what happens with Younger. Injured right now, and then Isaac Trumbull ranked 5th.
Coach Stresser did say he's traveling with the team to Nashville this weekend, and we could see him. But I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't either. And you know, I was about to question the decision to go underneath for Morley here to start the second period, but Tinker went optional start. Now, he got a takedown about 5 seconds later.
Didn't take him long. Second takedown, 6-1. Continues to pile on the riding time. Hasn't been able to get a turn, but I think it's safe to assume if you are Morley on bottom, spending all this time on bottom is going to take something out of you.
Absolutely. It was about halfway through the second when he started to work from the feet and go cut and release, which is what he's looking maybe to do here.
Cradle.
Similar to the first match, he was just about able to get his takedowns at will.
I mean, he just stalks. Tinker controlling the mat. Oh, drops down to the ankle. Cuts across and scores 3 more.
I mean, he's a huge human being who wrestles like a middleweight. There you see the low-level attack. He dropped all the way down to the ankle, but quickly came up and finished high. I really like that stuff.
Stall call there on Morley, so it's another point for Tinker. Looking for his second bonus point victory of the night. Northwestern will improve to 2-1. Next up for the Wildcats, the Midlands on December 29th and 30th. And they open up their Big Ten slate at Purdue on Friday, January 10th. For the Mustangs, on their schedule this Sunday, the Reno Tournament of Champions. Midlands is on their schedule as well. And they will go to Cedar Falls, Iowa for the national duels on January 10th and 11th. Their first competition in 2025. Quick escape by Tinker. Wow, look at that.
Whoa. My goodness.
Yikes. I mean, this guy is a dog on a bone. 17-3.
I mean, he's just really outclassed his two opponents tonight, both physically and with technique.
Gives the optional starts. Man, we've seen a lot of great attacks. You said it, JD. I mean, this looks like a 157-pounder. There's the tech fall, 20-4. 36 points scored tonight by Trevor Tinker. And if there are 32 heavyweights in the country better than this guy, JD, I want to see him.
Yeah, no kidding. He really separated himself between his two opponents here tonight, and really kind of a highlight for Cal Poly. Cal Poly out with a couple starters here tonight, and they felt it in the team score, but hey, Tinker kind of a bright shining light for them as well. 125 Holman, I was really impressed.
He looked good tonight, couple of wins.
With him as well. So, maybe not the best night for Cal Poly on the scoreboard, but definitely some stuff you can take away from some young guys that got some good experience. And hey, California Baptist and Northwestern, they came to scrap tonight.
They did. Cal Baptist, really good performance. And for Northwestern as well, solid performance for the Wildcats. You said at the bookends, really good for Cal Poly with Coda Holman at 125 and Trevor Tinker at heavyweights. Fun doubleheader tonight. Fun talking wrestling as always with you, JD.
It's been a great past 2 days.
It has been. We have covered 5 dual meets these past couple of days, but there is no such thing as too much wrestling here at FloWrestling.
It does.
It's what we do.
Exists, and it's going to continue to get better as we now head into the Christmas college slates and high school slate this weekend, moving on through the next couple weeks.
Happy holidays to you, JD.
To you as well, Shane.
So that'll wrap it up here on FloWrestling Night in America. For JD Rayner and our entire Flow Sports production team, I'm Shane Sparks. Thank you so much for watching. This has been FloWrestling Night in America, a presentation of Flow Sports. Catch all the coverage of Beast of the East this Saturday and Sunday only on FloWrestling.